Hello, everyone. Welcome out to CarSheild Field for today's G.A.C. Classic. And today we've got, I think, a very good one here for you today. Starting off is the Fort Zumwalt East Lions taking on the Timberland Wolves in, I think, what's going to be a very good pitching matchup today. We've got Carter Hollingsworth on the bump for the Fort Zumwalt East Lions, and then we have Richie Swain for the Timberland Wolves. And as always, I'm joined by the big man, Mitch the Kid Thomas. Mitch, what do you think about this pitching matchup, buddy?
This is one of those that I'm super pumped to watch. I mean, you have a lot of status behind Mr. Swain over there going to Mississippi State. I'm not exactly sure where Hollingsworth's going, but after watching him last week against Washington, I'm excited to see see if he keeps that pace up, manages that pace, and who makes the first adjustments.
Got some starting lineups for today's ball game for you here, folks, with the Fort Zumwalt East Lions, the visitors today. Leading off, playing shortstop will be number 1, Travis Hill. In the 2-hole, number 24, Jackson Bingham. In the 3-hole, number 10, Carson Topping. And in the 4-hole, the catcher, number 18, Dominic Pandolfo, which I think this young man's got a bright future, Mitch.
Man, we have a game with 2 top catchers. Yeah. This young man is very, very exciting. I just love the way he goes about his business, so absolutely. I'm pumped for today's catchers. And
in the 5-hole, number 21, the sophomore Kevin Morgan. In the 6-hole, number 16, Ryan Clethermus. And his brother, younger brother, number 17, Tyler Clethermus. And number 14, the DH, Grant Bishop. In the 5-hole, number 5, or in the 9-hole, number 5, Brady Copenhaver. And for the home team, the Timberland Wolves, head coach Andy Zare, I should have said that for Fort Zumwalt East, right? Head coach Russ Hill. Assistant coach Steve Lautzenheiser. And on the other side, Andy Zare, and I did know the one young man's name. You know it, though, don't you, Mitch?
Coach Trimble, Brendan Trimble.
There you go. I knew you knew it.
Of course.
Leading off, number 14, Colin Porter. In the 2-hole, number 6, Cam Newsom. In the 3-hole, number 22, having a big year. This kid came out last year, played very well, hit very well. Number 22, Ethan Chiodini, Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, he is the one guy in conference play that is hitting well, and most of the team is struggling offensively, but he's a guy that's getting it done. I think he's coming in with like a 4.17 or something, but he's leading the team in RBI, so I'm pumped to watch Ethan play today.
In the 4-hole, the aforementioned number 10 behind the dish, Carson Ramos. In the 5-hole, number 20, Jamison Schrum. In the 6-hole, number 28, Jackson Weiss. He'll be the DH today. In the 7-hole, number 16, Brady Schuler. In the 8-hole, number 1, Hayden Post. And in the 9-hole, number 2, Isaiah Ogby. Mitch, this one, as we move along here, as we're watching the Zumwalt East Lions finish up their infield work, I don't know that we are going to see a lot of offense in this game. If these pitchers are throwing strikes around the zone, I think it's going to be a very difficult day to scratch runs.
Yeah, then we saw Sissel talk about it. Who's going to be that guy that's not the normal, if you will, for each club that's going to step it up, and I think that's going to be in play again. Who's going to be your scrappy hitter, who's going to get on base, create a little bit of havoc, and we know that East carries that, and who's going to do that for Timberland today.
Absolutely. East, they've won 6 out of their last 7. They had a big win this past Saturday against Troy. winning 3-0. Timberland is 5-3 in their last 8. They split with Fort Zumwalt North and then beat Liberty the other day. So they're both trending on the good side of the win column.
Yeah, and Timberland, early on this year, they had faced some tough competition, and so I think they're sub 500. You can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think
they're 8-10 overall.
Yeah, and so going into this 3-7, these past 8 games, obviously they've made some adjustments, and so maybe they're playing better defense or some timely hitting, or obviously the pitching is holding them into ball games. So it's. Yeah, go ahead.
That's what you got to do. And, we talk about this is a cross-class matchup, East being a Class 5, Timberland being a Class 6. Where do you see Timberland in the Class 6 category right now?
In fairness, I don't think they have a shot. You have the arm that gives you a shot, but with the kind of like the super. No, that's the next round. You got to win 2 out of 3. But
yeah,
you can get there with the arm that you have, and then kind of go from there. You had to get a little shout out to the coaches over there. So
absolutely. And Andy was glad we had you in the shade.
Me too. I am glad. In case
he was thinking of you, dude.
Well, listen. At the end of the day, I if you don't know, I've been battling skin cancer issues, and so when you come out to a park, especially like today, it's a big sky, like it's a bright sky, if you will, and it's days like these that I have to watch it. So if you see me out there all summer long and it's 100 degrees. Do not ask me if I'm hot. I guarantee I'm hot. I'm in pants. I'm in sleeves. I have a hat that's the size of this room. Do not ask me if I'm hot. I can guarantee I am.
The answer is already yes.
I've already stopped asking, and I go, do I look like it? Usually I get the no. They're like, you're a little chunky for me, buddy.
Zumwalt East, we have they cracked the top 20 this week. I think they deserve it. They're playing well. They're 10-6. Where do you see them in the Class 5?
Man, after watching them last week with the pitcher-catcher relationship, they're moving up for me, and I think that was something we talked about going into the season. Where were they going to be here at the pitching side? And from the looks of it, in the last 10 games, they are ready to rock and roll, and I think firing on all cylinders, if you will.
And, these are the things that I look at, Mitch, when you start talking about, Class 5. We're talking about Class now. We're right about the midway point of the season, right? So when you're looking at this, then you got to start talking about districts. And they're in District 4. We're going to see Fort Zumwalt South today. We've seen Warrenton, right?
Yep.
We've seen Holt. Hannibal, I've seen Hannibal. I don't, McClure North and McClure. No, I don't think they're gonna.
They ain't what they used to be. I can tell you back when I played against those two teams, because you had Mr. Prater, who you know very well, and Ryan Model, and McClure was coming off of a state tournament run when I was graduating. So
yeah.
Not the same.
No, it sure isn't. So, and I don't think Zumwalt South is what they were. We're going to see them later today, like I said. So you've got East, Warrenton, and I think the top team right now in this district in Class 5 is St. Dominic.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I try to follow them because, again, we have St. Dominic kids that train in the facility. So anybody that's training in there, I kind of keep an eye on, who's who. And, they had a big win, correct, against SLU, and they play SLU. They end up winning.
They beat SLU 4-1.
Yeah, so that's a big timer right there. I do think Hannibal can play.
They're competitive.
Spoiler, yeah. I've seen a couple good wins on their season for them. So I think East is the class of it, though.
Even over Dominic.
Yeah, Hill's got experience doing this. I know Coach Kai. I've played with Coach Kai over there, Arel at St. Dominic, so I know he's going to have his guys prepared when district play comes in. But I've become every year I watch Coach Hill, I become a bigger fan.
There you go.
So that's my nod.
On the District 4, on the Class 6 side, it is basically the G.A.C. South and Central. with Francis Howell Central, Francis Howell, Fort Zumwalt North, Fort Zumwalt West, Liberty, North Point, Timberland, Troy, Buchanan.
Sorry.
That's almost an unfair district.
Sorry to somebody.
Right?
Like, you have two teams that can make legitimate state runs. Like, they don't need everything to go their way. They can afford to give up free bases and make mistakes. Some of them other teams cannot. And one of those two teams are not going to make a state championship run.
We have Francis Howell, Fort Zumwalt West, North Point, all ranked. Francis Howell North is the only outlier. They're over in District 3 with CBC, DeSmet, and SLU. And, I mean, it's just it's wild how that happens. I mean, I understand districting. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, those guys are terrible. That's not it. It's a hard job. You can say what you want to. It's a difficult job. But I think that is just one of the most brutal districts this year, because Howell Central, no matter what, Howell Central can beat you. I like what coach. Are they young, super young? Yeah. Do they have the pitching they maybe need, whatnot? No, but that is a competitive team. They always come to play. They can beat you. Zumwalt North in a game with Lohman, we're going to see him today. You can forget about it. I mean, that guy has pitched like he is a number one in college.
That's it. I mean, he's already proven. I think he was hurt last year, so we didn't get a chance to see him in the G.A.C. Classic. So you're going to get a chance this year to see him pitch, and he's a guy that can shut down anybody. And that's the thing about these conferences. They're going to have a guy. So whoever's the 1 seed, don't sleep on that. That 8 seed or 7 seed or whatever in those bottom 4 seeds. It's not like it used to be. I would like to see these guys in different districts. That was hard to say. I speak English, I swear. I don't even have a second language, but it's just tough. I would like to see something like that happening, because you look over in some of the St. Louis area schools that struggle. They have 6 or 7 teams that have 2 and 3 wins a year. It's just somebody's going to go in there and dog walk them, and it won't even be competitive for them.
Because, I mean, Zumwalt West we're going to see tomorrow. Timberland we're seeing right now. North Point we're going to see later today. Troy Buchanan we're going to see tomorrow. And Troy's playing some good baseball right now. They struggled. They're starting to find their way. I just think District 4, Class 6, Timberland's in that. I'm looking forward to seeing them today, with my own eyes, and not just looking at, strength of schedule and those types of things. So I think it's going to say a lot about what we're going to see come district time, especially in these two teams in District 4, Class 5, and Class 6.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got all the ground rules over with, Blues out, ready to go. Should we start calling them blacks now?
No, probably not. That was probably a poor choice of words.
Ow, shoot. Well, maybe so, but I don't mean that by that.
I know you don't. That's where we're at
wearing
sometimes.
Black shirts all the time.
I very rarely see them in blue uniforms, tops. I see
don't?
red, black.
Now you see the
gray.
powder. See the powder.
I do see the powder.
Right.
Which I love that. I'm a big powder blue. I'm an 80s Cardinals fan, so there's nothing better than 80s baseball in my opinion. And you can include your Dodgers in there because they were good in the 80s as well.
Listen,
for obvious reasons. It's probably what made you a fan, wasn't it?
Well, I go back to the 70s, Brew.
Oh, I was thinking maybe Sandy
Late
Koufax.
70s. Oh, no, I ain't that old.
Duke Schneider?
No, I didn't see Duke Schneider play.
So he's still a little older?
I was just a little kid. When I started watching was the late 70s. The infield was Steve Garvey, Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, Ron Say.
Man.
You had Rick Monday, Dusty Baker, Reggie Smith out there. You had
Rick Monday.
Yeah, remember Rick Monday?
Oh yeah,
love that.
I'm a baseball card collector, so I have some interesting names. I probably should not say what my favorite card is that I have as a graded, like PSA 4. If you want me to say it, I can say the man's name. It is a very immature
Let me get to this real quick. We got to set up the defense here.
thing, but Rick Monday, absolutely.
For the Timberland Wolves on the mound and his battery mate, you have Richie Swain, Carson Ramos behind the plate. At first base, you have Jamison Shrum. Second base, Brady Schuler. There we go. Hayden Post at shortstop and Ethan Chiodini at third base. Isaiah Ogby in right field and center field, Cam Newsom. And in left field, you have Colin Porter. Setting up the defense for this Timberland Wolves team. And leading off, here we go. Mitch, first pitch. Travis Hill taking it. Beautiful day, about 77 degrees, sunny.
Yeah, almost 80.
A few puffy clouds out there. Slight breeze. Let's go.
This is perfect baseball weather.
And strike one on the corner.
I told everybody, I went Facebook Live as I was walking in. I said, you guys got to get here if you want to watch good baseball.
Absolutely.
I don't think people understand quite. I tell them all the time, the G.A.Cs are just, it's the...
Oh, that's nice off speed coming back inside there, Mitch. 0-2.
It is a joy to watch this conference play.
Absolutely. And, you see guys, you got a big-time arm here. But I like this at-bat right here by Travis Hill. This is a coach's kid who understands, you got to get some pitches on this arm. Early in this game, right?
Yeah, you just saw him spit on that slider that was down. I mean, that's a good spit by the hitter. He's obviously confident, great discipline, so that's probably why he's in that leadoff spot.
Chasing the high fastball, couldn't catch up. Out number one. Brings up Jackson Bingham. And that's where you can see, you see guys, are they going to be outmatched by this arm? Right?
Yeah, I mean, you could look at the East right away. I'm looking at them just kind of where they're setting up on their feet. They're in the back of the box trying to see it a little deeper, give them more time.
Fastball misses low and away.
I can tell you what, you can't blink before he lets go of it because you'll miss it.
Bingham hitting .316 on the season. He's got 5 ribbies. He's getting on base pretty well, too. .422. Ground ball to Chiodini up. Nice play. And an easy 5-3 if you're scoring at home. Brings up Carson Topping, who is leading this team in hitting, on-base percentage, and slugging. 23 ribbies. He's got 23 runs scored. He's hitting .475, Mitch.
Man, I was just looking at his numbers just the other day, and as we were talking last night on the Press Box show, I looked at his stuff and I was like, man, this guy is locked in right now.
And our player spotlight presented by Youth Baseball Midwest is the pitcher for the Timberland Wolves, and that is Richie Swain. This Mississippi State commit on the season so far, Mitch. He's 0-2. 13 and 2/3 innings, 3.59 ERA. And one of the things that we've talked about with this young man is when he's on, he throws strikes. He's hard to hit, but he's got a .255 opponent's batting average against and a .154 whip. So probably if he's not walking a lot of guys, 21 strikeouts as Topping grounds out to the shortstop for out number 3. And our player spotlight presented by Youth Baseball Midwest. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. Zumwalt East 0. Timberland coming up. Level up with Legacy Performance Academy. When it comes to development, Legacy Sports and Fitness is all about training the whole athlete, on the field and off. Improve mobility, boost flexibility, prevent injuries, train explosive strength and functional movements, grow as an individual, because we know a better athlete today becomes a greater player tomorrow. We appreciate Legacy Performance Academy being the proud sponsor of Youth Baseball Midwest. Maximize your performance. Today we're going defense now. We're going to set up the defense for the Fort Zumwalt East Lions. The battery will be Carter Hollingsworth on the mound. Dominic Pandolfo behind the plate. At first base is Tyler Cleathermos. Jackson Bingham at second. Travis Hill at short. Kevin Morgan at third base. In right field, Carson Topping. In center field, Ryan Cleathermos and Brady Copenhaver in left. So our defense is set for the East Lions. Getting ready to face Colin Porter here. And our player spotlight, of course, we always like to spotlight the pitchers for each team. And as we do, we saw this young man dealing against Washington last week, Mitch, and we're going to see him again today. He's 3-0 with a .157 ERA, which shows you he's getting it done there. He's got 27 Ks, 11 walks, a 1.34 whip, and OBA, opponent's batting average, against at .221.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen some interesting numbers. You got a guy that's 0-2 with just a few points higher on that OBA, right?
Yep.
But you never know what that is. It could be weak contact, weak base hits. The whip is an issue. You know, I think when you're in that 1-3 and above, that you're giving up the walks, and both of them have that. I like this guy's delivery. I think it's challenging for the right-handed hitters.
Ground ball snared. Nice play by Cleathermos over there. Hey, baseball economics there, folks. One pitch, one out. Gotta love it.
Yeah, you know, what is the game plan going into this? I think some of these teams do some scouting on each other, especially kind of in conference play. And we saw last week that he utilized that slider big time, and he just started it off there again. So maybe that's the approach, because he hit that ball well.
Yeah. Strike one to Cam Newsom, hitting in the 2-hole. A .303 batting average on the season so far.
Been unlucky in conference play. There's a couple. Now, granted, again, when you have a 0 batting average in conference play, and we have the pitchers that we have in this conference, there's a reason. But you know, I think that this league is tough, and so somebody today that one of the 4 or 5 that have zeros are going to have to come up big today with a big hit for Timberland.
Good slider on the outside. It kind of sweeping his arm across there too. A little different arm slot, Mitch.
Yeah, this is what I thought made it interesting last week for the Washington hitters. He looks like he's coming at you, then swings it across his body, and I looked at it and I was like, oh man, that guy's going to be a little sore, but obviously, you know, he trained his body to do this.
Fouled it off on a 3-2 count. We're going to do it again. That's good hustle by the catcher Ramos, but coach from East beat him to it.
Yeah, and you can even see in his mechanics, he kind of steps towards it, even with his front foot, his plant foot, he steps towards the third base side, and then really does come across the body, which could be troubling for right-handers.
Oh, Pandolfo couldn't quite hang on to that, and we'll do it again.
Especially with that little sweeper that he's got, which I think he's going to throw right here.
Try and get him to chase.
Oh,
fastball up. Oh, I had an extra strike in there. It's now 3-2. Was I incorrect? I thought that was 3-2.
It's 2-2.
I thought, never mind. He's on base with a HBP, it looks like. So we'll leave it at that. Because you can go with this.
Or you can go with that. Or you can get with this. Or you can get with that.
That is your pop culture refrain for the day.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good in pop culture trivia. That is probably one of my favorites. I know trivia nights are kind of dying with other fundraisers.
All right.
But I do love some good trivia.
Strike one to the big right-handed hitter, Ethan Chiodini.
You should see the bathroom readers I have, Brian. of useless information, bathroom readers. Man, there's a lot of useless information.
At the knees, strike 2. So he's quickly ahead of Chiodini after falling behind to Newsom. Gets back in this. Ramos on deck.
Call time.
He's freezing him. That's time.
I wonder who that was on. Oh, he must have been trying to say it instead of putting his hand up.
Yeah.
Which I actually like that Ethan didn't put his hand up there because of the fact that if he does pitch it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have your hand on the bat.
I think as long as a batter says it loud enough, that's the biggest thing. Just say it loud enough I can hear you. I'll give it,
Yeah, he might have to Snapchat him because that's how our youth talks these days. I have to snap him, see if he's got his location on.
Oh,
You think I'm kidding?
oh mercy. We have to use the outside voice, right? Oh man. Mitch dropping the knowledge on this Snapchat.
I'm not sure if that's knowledge, Brian.
That's strike 3. Good pitch. Froze him on the outside corner. Chiodini goes down looking. Brings up Carson Ramos.
You know, you like to see him be a little bit more competitive in that AB there. I know that he's probably frustrated, but you have to have a game plan going in against a pitcher like this. You're going to pick on his heater. You're going to pick on a slider. In the first inning, or my first AB, I'm probably not even worried about that slider now. I cannot get beat on a fastball like that.
That was a good pitch.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to the pitcher, but the second strike that he threw was right down the middle of the plate.
Right.
And
Agreed.
you let that one go. Your whole at bat was dictated right there, you know? So first inning, sit on something and stick with it.
Yeah, you weren't beat there as Ramos fouls that out of play. You weren't beat there physically. You were beat there mentally.
Yeah, 100%. That's if I'm an evaluator of watching the AB, that's what I'm thinking. He just mentally was thinking too much there, which we know in this game, thinking less is the key. You can't think in this sport. I mean, yeah,
It's very reactionary in a lot of respects. I know what you're saying, man.
Sure. I mean, you can pre-pitch plan, like you can have an idea walking into the at bat, or
But once you get in there, you got to know what you're looking for and be able to react to it.
Yeah, don't miss.
Right.
Yeah, you just can't. If you're going to swing at a ball, you don't want to miss it. You also, I mean, I'm not asking you to stick your butt out and just try to make contact. Take your ace swing.
And we got time called
At all times. And you have 2 outs here. A little duck fart single doesn't do nothing for you. So if I'm Ramos here, I'm trying to hit a ball to the gap. So I'm still trying to get my A+ swing going.
back up the middle. Nice piece of hitting there by Ramos. Got that slider and didn't try and do too much with it with 2 strikes.
That's a lost art, hitting that baseball up the middle.
Right? So 2 outs now, first and second. Got the courtesy runner, number 11, Owen Dideker.
Dedeker.
Is it Dideker?
Dedeker.
I was close, wasn't I?
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks, appreciate it, bro.
I'll let the fans decide who was closest.
Oh. Number 20, Jamison Schrum at the plate now. We got smoke on the water here.
Ooh. I like that.
We decided to do that because of a couple weekends ago, there was a team from Southern Illinois called the Southern Smoke.
Yeah, we played them twice.
Yes. Yeah, it was that tournament. Yeah, you were there. Heck, your 14U team. Yeah.
I was there.
Yes, you were.
I
and so
my
we started,
team might not have been on Sunday, but I was.
they had the bases loaded, and so we I went, ooh, there's smoke. I said, bases are full of smoke. And I was like, oh, smoke on the water. And it just is kind of, so rather than ducks on the pond, I like smoke on the water.
I'm a fan. I, for some reason, had a brain fart. I'm thinking Deep Purple.
Yes.
Okay, I was right. All right.
Yep.
Great tune.
Go back to the hippie drug culture music.
I'm not a hippie.
Popped up on the infield. Travis Hill under it, makes the catch, and ends the threat. Timberland strands 2. We're going to the top of the second inning, 0-0.
At Legacy Performance Academy, we meet athletes where they are in their development, whether you're just starting out or already on the path to greatness. Legacy Sports and Fitness is the premier program for growth, with a full training field designed to help you sharpen every aspect of your game. Paired with our elite baseball programs, we've got the foundation for your success.
All right. Maximize your potential with Legacy Performance Academy. Mitch, Dominic Pandolfo coming to the plate here to lead off, then followed by Kevin Morgan and Ryan Cleve-Thermos. This is the middle of their order. I think this is going to be a telltale sign of where we're at, and, you know, if Richie's going to be dictating the game or if East can kind of claw their way and start dictating some at-bats.
Well, looking at the last inning, I'm kind of going on a limb and saying that I think they're going to try to hit the slider and let the guy throw his fastball. That's what they grounded out on. That's the pitches that they kind of swung at. Obviously, with 2 strikes, you got to swing at anything, but they put the slider in play. So you like to see the game plan. Maybe that's their game plan, but where this young man is at in Mr. Pandolfo, I will tell you. I could care less how he hits. That is how good he is behind the dish, in my opinion.
There you go.
And I don't care if he hit first, 9th, 7th. You have to watch this kid catch. I don't care about anything else.
Well, he is a pretty decent hitter, too.
He is. That helps. That does help.
He's swinging it at a 404 clip for a sophomore. That's pretty impressive.
Well, wowzer. We are lucky. We are lucky right now to have 2 catchers who are standing in the batter's box and the catcher's box.
Yeah.
That can flat play that position.
Grounded to the shortstop. Nice easy hop. 1 pitch, 1 out. Gotta love the baseball economics there, folks.
Efficiency.
And the shortstop over there, Hayden Post, senior, he's been playing there. He was their center fielder the last 2 years. Now he's at shortstop. Is that I think is his normal position too, correct? When he plays in the summer, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or is he a center fielder in summertime?
I think next level he'll be moved into center field. He actually last year played short for him. He was in center field as a sophomore.
As a sophomore, that's what it was.
Yeah, they had a couple gosh, I forgot his name. He went to State Fair and then anyways, brain fart, but
oh gosh. I know. I know who you're talking about.
We're
old.
Yeah, good young player. Was fun to have. As far as work ethic, worked real hard. Would stay after games if he struggled hitting to try to break through it. Threw him a lot of BP after games and having massive brain fart.
That ball is hit into right and is foul ball. Ogby makes a diving. I hope he didn't get into the wall there. No, here comes the ball. No, we didn't see it. The dive, Blues right on it, called it foul. I know Coach down there, he wanted it fair.
I was more concerned that he was all in and selling out, which hats off to you. I'd like to see him go feet first there instead of head first, but
there's a brick wall down there.
He's running to it, right? So at the end of the day, he knows where he's at.
Exactly.
For us, it looks like it's because you can't see that corner and it kind of jets back, like at a 45, and that just made me a little nervous. No danger.
Okay, good. Yeah,
I
our
was
camera folks seeing it there.
I was cringing.
Oh, that's behind him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, I believe, is the count.
Those are always the most interesting ones. You like kind of scoot forward and you wonder how you didn't get hit, and then you look back and you're like, how did the catcher catch that? Because you miss it. Like, you lose the baseball.
Oh, that is a great slider. Just dies and gets Kevin Morgan on the strikeout. 2 outs now. Ryan Clethermus at the plate.
I think that's big for him, is to be able to establish that off speed early, especially because you have such an electric fastball for in high schools. Well, he's got electric fastball, period. But
Right.
to be able to flip that slider up there with that much difference in velo, it's going to be East going to have to make some adjustments real quick.
Yeah.
Pick a pitch to hit and sit on it, and just whatever else happens, happens.
Fastball misses away. That's 2-0. Tyler Clethermus on deck.
That's an interesting miss there. I thought that was pretty good, but I'm off to the side of that. But
That's in the turf. Can't say it's in the dirt, Mitch, because there's no dirt there.
it's in the pebbles,
It's in the
It's in the
it's in
tire
the tire
rubbers?
pellets.
whatever they are.
It's in the pellets. I like that. 3-0.
It's in the. He said, "Don't say that." Not in the pellets.
And he misses. Ball 4.
Oh, Drew. Drew's over there giving me a hard time. It's just
Tyler
the first game.
Clethermus at the plate. 2 outs. And a 2-out walk for Clethermus. Pretty good crowd for a 2 o'clock ball game.
Yeah, both teams are close.
Oh, and that is going to be foul. That's the second one down the right field line. You know, and I love this approach here, staying short and just trying to punch it that way, Mitch.
What else you're supposed to do? I try to tell people all the time when there's certain things. There's guys that throw those like batting practice fastballs that you're supposed to hit, off the wall and stuff like that. And occasionally you try to get lucky with guys like this.
Sure.
Guys that throw heaters, be very direct with your barrel. You know, and stop, trying to lift a guy that throws 90 plus and you're trying to lift him up. Like, don't. Just try to hit a ground ball to the right side if you're a right-handed hitter. Obviously, you'll adjust from there because the ball goes in, you can pull your hands in, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, if a guy throws slow, why do you think we tell you to go up the middle? You know what I mean? Because you're not going to pull him. And if you do, you're going to pull it foul.
Try and keep your hands short as possible.
Short, sweet.
Upstairs for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Clethermus.
I think that's just a lost art, though, these days, is kids, like, you hear it all the time. I can only hit velocity. I can't hit slow pitching or, whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you just
Make an adjustment. Got to be able to make adjustments.
That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
But I think you've seen it even at the major league level. They where guys can't make adjustments anymore, to the different styles and pitching. And is it just because the velocity is just so much more difficult?
I think with Major League Baseball, what you'll see the pitchers that have a good 2-3 years in the league, that they kind of own it. The batting averages will be down, and then all of a sudden you'll see, the batters kind of picking it up, and they're able to compete a little bit differently. But in the big leagues, you're starting to see that now. He's running.
He's gone. Swing and a miss. Out number 3. So the slider gets Clethermus for the 3rd out. We're going to the bottom of the 2nd inning, score 0-0. Level up with Legacy Performance Academy. When it comes to development, Legacy Sports and Fitness is all about training the whole athlete, on the field and off. Improve mobility, boost flexibility, prevent injuries, train explosive strength and functional movements, grow as an individual. Because we know a better athlete today becomes a greater player tomorrow.
Oh, I get to go. I get to lead us back in. Ryan said we're going to lead back in with some scores. We got some games that have started, and I was actually looking for the one ball game that got started earlier. It was actually a 10-0 score, but it has disappeared on me. Some games that have started around the area is that Blair Oaks, California game. You got the Benton going against Smithville. That should be a nice little matchup there. But those are the games that have started. I will work on that 10-0 score to see which two teams that was. And we got ourselves a 0-0 ball game between Fort Zumwalt East and it was Park Hill versus Savannah. Got it.
Okay.
Park Hill Trojans and Savannah Varsity Savages.
I love that. The Savages. We were talking about that last night on the press box. The Savannah Savages.
You can make a whole bunch of great swag
right
with that.
You got to love that. Yeah, we got some must-see games for today. Got some good stuff going on as Jackson Weiss steps in. Grounds one to the first baseman. Had to wait for it to come down off the turf hop, and he does. Plenty of time. Out number one pitch, one out. We're seeing a lot of first pitch swings, Mitch.
Well, that's the second time that Timberland's done that. They let off the first inning, first pitch. The thing that if you're going to do this and you're leading off an inning, you better not be late.
Right.
I don't know what the mindset is by hitters going up to the plate like, first pitch, you have to strike. Let me hit it out of the catcher's glove. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
If you're gonna miss the pitch, right, you better be in front of it. Roll it over, whatever the case may be. You're not trying to defend your swing. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Be defensive in your swing. Send that thing to the moon.
It's 0-2 here,
sorry,
Brady. You're fine. Brady Schuler. That gets away from Pandolfo. That's a pitch. Must-see games today. Hey, Rockwood Summit visiting Eureka Wildcats. That's a 4:30 start today. I'm looking forward to that. One of our very small school, good curveball, gets him out front. Hill up with it, has to get rid of it quick, and gets him. Nice play by Travis Hill for out number 2. Last night we had the Northland Christian Trailblazers head coach, David Starnes, on the press box show. Heck of a team. This is only their 5th season. They've already won 2 district titles. They've got players, swing and a miss for Hayden Post. They're playing St. Pius X today. Class 1 versus Class 5. That'll be interesting.
That's a big difference.
It is.
That's the one thing I like about certain, just sports in general.
That's hammered through the hole, and Post is a 2-out single to keep the inning going.
I like that. Going out and trying to hit the baseball out in front of you. I think it goes a long ways in your approach, and again, just don't miss. And I think that's what you're seeing in the big leagues now, because I do think that we're rebounding, because you're seeing some guys that, I know it's early in the season, but, there's 50, 60 at-bats already happen in the big leagues. You got guys hitting 380 to, 300 to 380. Right. I think Brendan Donovan was hitting like 380 or something like that. Yeah. But you're seeing a different approach. You're starting to see the ball up in the zone. Guys are trying to get on top of it and hit ground balls opposite field. You're seeing a little change in philosophy.
Absolutely.
I think in the big leagues, which typically trickles down to youth sports, the high school level, middle school level. We just need to continue that path, because it's what's worked for 100+ years,
Isaiah Ogby at the plate. Ogby hitting a $167 on the season.
Yeah, a lot
He's
different.
Struggling.
A lot different than we saw him last year. Last year, I think he was hitting close to 400 when we came.
Oh, nice play on a tough hop for Cleathermos. Makes the play, ends the inning. We're going to the top third inning, score 0-0.
At Legacy Performance Academy, we meet athletes where they are in their development. Whether you're just starting out or already on the path to greatness, Legacy Sports and Fitness is the premier program for growth. with a full training field designed to help you sharpen every aspect of your game. Paired with our elite baseball programs, we've got the foundation for your success.
So we've got another player spotlight here for you. Senior for East, Ryan Cleathermos. His younger brother just made a nice play. Ryan Cleathermos is patrolling center field for this Zumwalt East team. And on the season, I got to get back to my stuff here, Mitch. Cleathermos is hitting .327. He's on base percentage .484, and his slugging is a bit down. He's got 3 doubles. 6 ribbies, scored 11 runs. He's been pretty productive, but you can see where he's at. This is a young man that's been part of this program for quite some time. And I believe, I'd have to go look. I know he's going on to the next level to play some ball. But Ryan Cleathermos, our player spotlight for Fort Zumwalt East here in the top of the 3rd inning as Ramos throws it down. Leading off here for the Lions is Grant Bishop. He's DHing today.
First thing, Brian, I want to talk about with this young man hitting for Zumwalt East, the stirrups.
Gotta love the stirrups, right?
We got the mid shin, the stirrup game. I like the swag here. It may or may not remind me of the 80s.
That's the old Pete Rose look right there, bro.
Oh man, I wasn't born then. So.
He's wearing Pete's number, 14. Maybe he's a Pete Rose fan. Grounded to the shortstop. Up with it. Post on a nice play to get Bishop for out number 1. We've had some pretty quick innings here, Mitch, as we thought we might see here.
Filling up the strike zone. One of probably your favorite players as a Dodger fan, and Sandy Koufax, one of the things that he said is he became a better pitcher when he stopped trying to strike him out and make him hit a baseball. I'm paraphrasing that. It's not the exact quote, but when you try to make him hit it, good things can happen, and you see it a lot. One of the things I like about social media is conversations they have with young people who struggle and then figure it out, and they have those conversations. And there was a young man that was in the minor leagues struggling, trying to be perfect.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Copenhagen.
And next thing you know, he goes, I just started throwing the ball down the middle.
Right.
And I realized that if I get strike 1, I have a lot more success.
It's amazing.
And I was like, how easy is that thought process?
The batting average from strike 1, I mean, it's just crazy how much it dips.
Oh, big time.
Right?
And one of the largest there is that 1-1 count. That's why I bring that up and talk about it all the time.
Yes. 2-2 now to Copenhagen.
Because that's a pitch that goes, you're either hitting 370 or you're hitting 140, as opposed to like a 280 hitter.
That's on the corner, out number 2 on the K, looking for Copenhagen. And, one of the things we remarked that we really was impressed with last week and what we're seeing again today from Hollingsworth, I'm seeing from Swain. I like his pace. I think his pace is good. He's on the mound. He's focused. He's ready to go, and he's throwing strikes.
Yeah, he's got a ton of energy on the bump. You could when I'm sitting here watching him, I see a ton of confidence in his ability to, any pitch that he's throwing, he's able to come back in counts. I've noticed that about Hollingsworth. Last week he worked fast that the umpire had to call time on him twice.
Maybe he slowed down just a hair.
Well, I mean, it's a hair. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think his pace is the same today. I
No.
don't think he's walking around with that same confidence he had a week ago.
1 ball, 1 strike to Travis Hill, the leadoff hitter for East. He struck out in the first inning. Excuse me. Swing and a miss.
But that's what this conference does to you.
Yes.
When you go out and you're like facing Washington, he might have had a friend on that team or something, that gets him amped up.
I just want to strike everybody out.
Yeah, and then today you got the monster that's Timberland coming down into this division, and maybe there's a little bit of gun shy.
Yeah. Swain's sitting and gets the time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sometimes I think a pitcher will start and he's like, oh, should I throw? Well, I'm just going to stand here until somebody calls time.
That's part of the game. Hollingsworth
Right?
did it earlier. A little bit of a delay.
And then you're like, do I really want to throw this pitch? I don't know. Then if you're in your head and you throw that, if you start at that point, I think it's just going to be bad.
Yeah, step off, right? Like at the end of the day, or just stand
Or
there.
just wait till he calls time, because eventually he will. Oh! That breaking pitch didn't quite break where he wanted it, and Hill's on with the hit by pitch. This is only the second base runner for East. Base on balls now, hit by pitch. Jackson Bingham, the second baseman now, he grounded out to the third baseman his first at bat.
I'm calling it first or second pitch. Hill's gone off first base.
He's got a pretty good lead over there, Mitch. That's a strike on the outside corner.
Well, when you have a catcher like this that's got one of these pop times that are highlight, he's maybe not.
I don't know, man. Swain's pretty quick to the plate. And you got Ramos back there. Nice slide step, grounded to post. And a little flip to the second baseman for out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the third inning, score 0-0. Level up with Legacy Performance Academy. When it comes to development, Legacy Sports and Fitness is all about training the whole athlete, on the field and off. Improve mobility, boost flexibility, prevent injuries, train explosive strength and functional movements, grow as an individual. Because we know a better athlete today becomes a greater player tomorrow. All right, folks, here at the top, we're going to get the top of the order coming back here for Timberland. And in that 3-hole, we'll see again our player spotlight for Timberland, Mr. Ethan Chiodini. This young man, he is not cooled off. Last year, I think he kind of really set himself in that space. What's up, Mr. Mulder?
How we doing, boys?
Good. We're talking about Mr. Ethan Chiodini. What do you think of him?
Very good player.
There you go. See, Kevin said it. He's a very good player. And I think, we talked about this a little bit, Mitch. From last year coming back into this year, he has stayed in that mindset. He's hitting very well this year. I got to go back and get my stuff. Sorry, folks. Chiodini's hitting .357 on the year, 400 on base, 482 slug, 17 ribbies, 9 runs scored. He's got 7 doubles, and he's a tough out.
Yeah, going into this, I was looking at kind of league stats, and he's the one bright spot Timberland has. It was hitting over 400 coming into this game, with 7 ribbies. He was kind of leading the way in all categories for Timberland. So
Right.
I think the homer numbers are down. I think he had 4 last year, maybe at this point. But obviously, he's getting some extra base hits because he's got 7
doubles.
7 doubles on the year.
Right. 1 ball, 1 strike to Colin Porter, and that is outside. 2-1.
Played baseball with this guy's dad too.
Who haven't you played baseball with, bro?
And he's actually he taught all 3 of my kids. He's a PE teacher at in the Timberland School District.
Okay. 3 balls, 1 strike now to the leadoff, and that is popped down the line and going to get foul into the grass. Kevin, it's a beautiful day here, isn't it?
It's perfect.
I would say you're here for the pitching matchup, yes?
Correct.
I knew that. Yeah, here. Do that. We'll get him in here. Just say, oh, outside.
I was just coming up to say hi, give you guys some velos between innings.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
got
yeah.
some velo numbers.
What do we got?
Swain.
Here, we'll give it to him. You can tell the folks, Kevin. What do you got, buddy?
Mr. Hollinsworth has been 82-84. And Richie Swain has been 89-93.
Ooh.
So came out. Obviously, you guys were on it. It's a great pitching matchup, and Carter Hollinsworth
And that's
versus
a
Richie
great
Swain's as
bunt,
good as it gets.
And he's oh! I thought that was close.
East almost got caught sleeping there. Their shortstop kind of got a late break getting over there. I mean, he knows his speed better than I do, but
That was a great bunt by Cam Newsom. I thought he beat it out, but Blue said otherwise. Moves the runner, Colin Porter, into scoring position. Chiodini at the plate. This is the guy you want right here.
yeah, you'd like to see his game plan change from his first at bat. Hopefully he learned
Right.
something. I think, Kevin had said that Hollingsworth's 82-84. I tell you, the ball pops out of his hands like it's a little better than that, plays a little harder. It could be his mechanics, but I thought he was probably 85-86. I was a little off there.
Long look. Sliders outside. So far, Mitch, I don't think he's been as sharp as we saw last week.
Nope. At Washington, the pace of his game, the way that his shoulders were, I mean, he had a swag last week that was very different.
Yeah.
He's still pitching well. It's just-
No,
I don't wanna
right,
sell him
but
short.
just different nuances. That curveball popped up into right field is coming shallow. Is Carson Topping, and this kid has got a cannon of an arm. Good to see you, buddy.
I'll come see you.
All right. So the fly out to shallow right field for out number 2 brings up Carson Ramos. That was a good pitch. He just missed it. Millimeters, bro.
I don't think he had his A swing on it. I think that he was trying to put that ball in play. He didn't have 2 strikes on him. He could have done a little bit more damage. You like to see that, but that's the coaching side of me that's coming out there. Obviously, it is much more difficult to hit, and being on this side of the fence has always been easier for me. Standing in his batter's box, and whatever's going through his head, I would have liked to see him try to pull the baseball, even if it is up, just because of the nature of the hitter.
Yeah.
I just think there's guys like that, and the reason I say that is because you don't want to miss the pitch that you can hit really far. You have 2 strikes, maybe the game changes, but I don't. I would like my big guys and my big hitters to try to hit the baseball out of the park.
Ball 1 to Ramos, 1-1. This is a guy you definitely don't want to make a mistake to because
No.
he'll hit it out of this park.
He's done that a few times for us, and we've been watched a few of his games. That year that I guess his sophomore year was against Howell Central. He had hit the go ahead and the walk off, I think, right?
Yes.
Against Howell Central because they.
Yeah, that was those, man. Those were some fun games.
I still talk about it to this day because Timberland went into Howell Central, went ahead there with a home run. Then they walked him off at home, and then the next year they returned the favor. Same situation.
Right.
It was crazy to me. Loved it.
Stepped off. It's 2 outs. It's the second runner they've had in scoring position here, and they're trying to scratch that run, give Swain the lead.
Oh, they left. They left the shortstop out to dry and everything. Hill was running back towards the bag. He decided to pitch it. He pulls that baseball. That's a easy base hit.
Right.
Not going to say he scores. It's just a easy base hit.
And that's a walk to Ramos. I don't think always just a bad thing there with Jamison Schrum coming to the plate and hitting 250.
Don't let the best guys beat you, right?
Yeah, little pitch around maybe.
Well, you got Chiodini out. I mean, I think Chiodini got himself out, but
Right.
At the end of the day, you don't have to give in a situation there. They might have more information on Schrum. Schrum's just a junior, so he's got it. Make him beat you.
Right. And there it is. 2 topping in, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 3 outs. We're going to the top of the 4th inning, score 0-0.
At Legacy Performance Academy, we meet athletes where they are in their development, whether you're just starting out or already on the path to greatness. Legacy Sports and Fitness is the premier program for growth, with a full training field designed to help you sharpen every aspect of your game. Paired with our elite baseball programs, we've got the foundation for your success.
Folks, want to talk about some of our must-see games that are around the area. One that I think is interesting is Farmington. Farmington Knights, Class 5, we got them number 18, Mitch, taking on the Fredericktown Black Cats, Class 4 squad. And Fredericktown, we've had them, they've been close to the top 20. They're playing good baseball. I don't know, Farmington, I'm interested to see if they continue to. They started off a little slow, 12-2. They've been putting together some good wins. The other one is Class 5, John Burroughs, the Bombers, taking on the Lutheran North Crusaders, who the Crusaders have been struggling, but this year they've got, I think they're 9-3.
Yeah, they've got some guys. I've had the luxury of watching that group. They got a real nice shortstop. They got a couple young kids that have come up that have been forces for Coach Green. I know what their practices are like, so I know they're going to have good practices over there because Earl does run a very good practice.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, so I think they're just starting to get some of that talent, and I think some of that's just been coached up by Earl and in his club. So
there you go.
They're out there doing their thing.
That's strike one. Carson Topping here leading off for the Lions takes strike one. Fouled back out of play quickly, 0-2. I mean, the slugging for this kid, 746. When you talk about slugging like that, Mitch, when you 8 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, this kid had not played baseball in like 2 years.
It's wild to me. I know that he moved a couple years back, and he was in the Howe School District. He moved over to Fort Zumwalt East a few years back, and it's crazy just to pick up a bat and do that. But sometimes, guys do that, and they find the love again for the sport that they may have lost.
That was nasty, Mitch.
That slider's working today. It's crazy to hear a guy that says, yeah, he's 89, 93, and he's flipping these sliders up there.
Right.
But again, it's what do we know? What information do we know? And
yeah.
if East is doing their homework, then they know that the guy's living on a slider. So now we just change the approach.
Dominic Pandolfo at the plate. Kevin Morgan on deck. It's good off speed to start him with that little curveball inside.
Hit that thing 6 miles. I mean, he threw it down and in. This guy's got a swing that's down and in. You cannot let pitches like that go.
Because then you get that.
It's a good pitch.
Misses off a little bit. Blue says 1-1.
Maybe been down.
Mm-hmm. Grounded. Chiodini dives, comes up, and throws a strike. Heck of a play by Ethan Chiodini on the dive.
That's how you make up for a couple of bad ABs. But I tell you what, you know what I was most impressed with, Brian? I looked over there. He makes this nice play, and how quick he got up.
Right? That's athletic.
That's a big dude over there, too. Like, I mean, that is a man amongst these boys.
Popped right up.
That was awesome. Great play.
Kevin Morgan at the plate. Those are rally killers right there. Ball one. You trying to get something going. You see hear everybody hooping and hollering on the one side, and it's like, nope. Morgan skies one into left field. Back is Porter. Makes the catch. Hit it deep.
I thought he hit it better than that.
We're going to the bottom of the fourth inning. Score 0-0. Level up with Legacy Performance Academy. When it comes to development, Legacy Sports and Fitness is all about training the whole athlete, on the field and off. Improve mobility, boost flexibility, prevent injuries, train explosive strength and functional movements, grow as an individual. Because we know a better athlete today becomes a greater player tomorrow. We got the Coyotes out down there. It is the Wolves.
That does
I
not
must
sound
admit,
like a wolf.
It did sound. I thought it sounded like Coyote, but whatever works.
I'm young one.
I want to thank all the folks over at Legacy Performance Academy for their sponsorship, partnering with Youth Baseball Midwest here. We really do appreciate it. We appreciate their support in what we do, and look forward to continuing our relationship with them in the future. Maximize your performance with Legacy Performance Academy. Go to stllpa.com and check it out. All right, Mitch, who's going to give first? We've got the 6, 7, 8 here for Timberland coming up. I think we're at that place. Who's blinking?
This game's going to be won in the 6th inning.
I can see that. I don't disagree. I think it's going to get late.
I think that the one thing that I think Timberland's doing a little bit better job is Hollingsworth has had to throw more pitches.
Right.
I think that East is letting Swain off the hook on a couple of things.
That's good hustle, Coach.
Oh, he will always hustle. You should see that man run.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to squirrel you there.
One time I got a funny story. All right. He hires me. I'm going to call it he hired me to play co-ed softball one night. So we go up to Wapple Horse. You know where Wapple Horse is?
Yes.
First pitch ball. He goes, hey, I need you to come up, fill in for me, whatever, co-ed. And I'm like, sure, whatever. I can hit a softball 6 miles. I go out there and play with him. I don't think I hit the ball out of the infield 3 out of my 5 at-bats. I popped up to shallow center, and I might have hit 1 out.
That is 3 balls, no strikes to the leadoff, Jackson Weiss. Did he call it a strike? Okay.
He called it a strike. It was late, but he called it a strike.
All right.
2-1. But so I make like 2 errors on defense. He then put me behind the dish to catch. I'm like, you know what? What I learned was I probably shouldn't talk. Just play.
Another large bounce. He waited that too long. There was no chance. No chance.
He turned the other way. He's good.
He just beat that into the ground. I mean, that was like a fly ball coming off the turf. So the infield single has the leadoff runner on, Brady Schuler at the plate.
This is a kid last year that was big for Coach Zare and Timberland. He had a good year last year, and he's again struggling in conference play.
Not quite wrong-footed there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a big enough lead.
Well, I think it's a chess match thing, right? So you got a guy it's a bunt situation. You talked about who's going to blink first. This could be just a pick off to see if he'll show.
Mm-hmm.
Little
Is he
cat
going
and
to turn?
mouse.
There it is. Foul ball on the attempt there. Strike one. I mean, at this point, Mitch, that's what you want to try and do. You're just trying to get him into scoring position here. You got Post who singled his first at bat. If you can get this runner back over there with one out.
Well, there's a lot that can happen here. I mean, you get him on, and you might get your 9-hitter up here with 2 outs. You start over your.
There it is. That's a great bunt. I'd let that go foul, absolutely.
They say it's a game of inches.
That was definitely inches right there. You could see it at the end there. I think maybe Hollingsworth was blowing on it a little bit. Get foul.
We've seen that a few times in the big leagues. Catchers will get down and they start getting on all hands and their knees.
So now Schuler 0-2. We'll have to look that up in the old Major League. That's one of the things I think is so interesting. And a ground ball through the hole. Good piece of hitting there by Schuler. Got the job done and got on base.
Everything about that, even if he gets out there, everything about that approach there, trying to hit it behind the runner there so that he can get to the second base bag, that's big. Because now we're going to put it in a position where you can bunt again. You're probably going to bunt to the third base side with a lefty hitter up.
Yeah.
And Ogbie Ogbie was on fire last year, and so he's a guy that you can't. He's not your typical 9-hitter.
No, and
just
Post is not your typical 8-hitter.
He hit leadoff at times this year for Timberland.
So these two guys here can swing it at the bottom of this order. They just have not been, they haven't found themselves yet this year.
Yeah, this is the thing with the defense. If you're paying attention here, you got your shortstop really trying to work your second base runner. Second baseman's kind of over. That tells you what their bunt defense is going to be here because second base is going to cover first.
It'll be interesting if he squares around. And he steps off again.
It's designed. I think it's just designed.
Yeah, they're waiting to see if he shows.
Little cat and mouse.
Coach Hill's barking out some orders from the dugout.
I'd like to see Hill kind of keep him closer because he's giving him some space.
There it is. That's a ball upstairs. I shouldn't say maybe barking because Lions don't bark. They roar. So he's roaring out some instructions. Right?
And they howl.
And you got barking on that side with the Wolves. I just am trying to say,
That's a locator.
Yes.
Wolves bark so they can locate.
There you go.
Ooh,
and that is popped. That kind of looked like a half-hearted attempt.
Well, I think this is what drives me bonkers about bunting. He should be sacrificed bunting. He should not be worried about getting out of the box. Period. Get the bunt down, stay in the batter's box, get it down, do the job. I don't think there's much of a wheel play. Hill's not really working hard over there at the shortstop position.
And that's going to be foul. So he's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, this is where as a hitter, you've obviously haven't done your job to get the bunt down, but you have to refocus here. You can't be frustrated because you didn't do it. You got to lock back in and so that you can put a good swing on a ball. Let anything happen, especially if he thinks opposite field.
Skied to left field, caught by Copenhaver, and that is out number 1.
There's times as a coach that or former coach that I like to just kind of take a look around and see kind of how coaches' reactions are. And you look over at times and you're just like, what's going through coach's head after the missed execution there?
Right.
And it's just so frustrating to to be in a positive mindset when the kids run off the field, when you just have such a, obviously the game's hard, but it's a bad AB.
Yes, I agree. Because even if you got an out there, you want it. Can you get a productive out?
Yeah, but to beat the ball in the ground, sure he might have hit in a double play, but the chances of doubling him up on a ball that's chopped.
Right. I agree.
But that's just, I think, some of the differences in baseball these days, especially if you're kind of that kid that has a good swing and you're asked to execute a bunt. There's no reason here to try to bunt for a hit, and I felt like that's what Post was trying to do there for Timberland. Was he was trying to get out of the box. Not only was he trying to get the bunt down, but he was trying to beat it out. I can appreciate that. As a coach, I can appreciate that. That's not the job.
Swing and a miss.
And what's cool about that is it's a sacrifice bunt. So it's an 0 for 0. Just put it down.
How many, when you've got runners like this, no outs, how many unproductive outs or unproductive at-bats do you have? Strike at the letters. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ogby, with the leadoff hitter Colin Porter on deck. This is a big spot right here for Ogby.
I'm just trying to pull the ball right now if I'm Ogby.
He pops it up off the fist. Second baseman under it. Bingham for out number 2.
And the reason I said that there, and again, this goes back to just what I think, how you build approaches to hitting. I'm watching the shortstop work the second baseman with a right-handed hitter up, right? And so I'm thinking in my mind, I can put a baseball in the 5-6 gap. I give him a better shot at reaching base or getting that ball through the hole.
Right.
So it's okay to pull a baseball that's outside or middle.
So that's 2 big outs for Hollingsworth. Swing and a miss by Porter. Strike 1. This would be the 4th consecutive inning that Timberland's put a runner on, and if they, we'll see, we don't know, and would strand them. And stranding runners in a runner in scoring position, they've had it the last 2 innings.
With less than 2 outs.
Yes. 2 balls and a strike.
I'm not sure if they're trying to pitch around Porter a little bit. They're setting up outside.
This kid's hitting very well, Mitch.
I don't think you can let the bases get loaded, though. And those pitches are not competitive there.
No. Swing and a miss. He is still picking that outside, though. He's not coming in.
Yeah, so clearly he was not trying to throw the ball that far outside, but that's the vibe that I got from the way kind of he was approaching the bat there.
And you see Pandolfo working outside, and there it is, just stuck his bat out there to foul it off.
Yeah, and here's the thing is if he has a changeup now, he could throw that 2-2 changeup off that same overlay. We talked about it a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Last Wednesday.
We
talked about it with the young man that was the player of the game, the lefty. I can't think of the lefty for Washington.
Grounded to the second baseman, up with it. Nice quick throw. That is a huge get for Hollingsworth. We're going to the top of the 5th inning, score 0-0.
At Legacy Performance Academy, we meet athletes where they are in their development. Whether you're just starting out or already on the path to greatness, Legacy Sports and Fitness is the premier program for growth, with a full training field designed to help you sharpen every aspect of your game. Paired with our elite baseball programs, we've got the foundation for your success.
We have another player spot spotlight for you, presented by Youth Baseball Midwest. Hey, if you like what we're doing, please take a moment, hit the like button, subscribe while you're here, hit the dinger. It's not a home run, but it is notifications for upcoming episodes of our Press Box Baseball Talk podcasts and live streams such as this. Travis Hill, our last player spotlight for the Fort Zumwalt East Lions. This young man, honestly, Mitch, too, he's having to play somewhat out of position in a lot of respects as well, because he probably projects more as a second baseman. But he has played some very good shortstop for this team.
That's what I like about high school baseball, is because I do think next level, you're correct, like looking at his stature, things like that, he probably goes to second base. But that's what the joy of high school baseball.
And you got to love having the coach's kid. And I shouldn't say it that way because everybody thinks that's negative. He's the son of a coach. There you go. I like that better. And he has that same mentality as Coach Hill, plays with it, plays with a lot of confidence. And you can see he is the leader of this team with Hollingsworth.
Yeah, and you know, I like the fact that you tried to correct that a little bit there.
Yes.
Saying just because he's the coach's kid, like there's no daddy ball here. Like, the job as a high school coach is to win baseball games.
Absolutely.
And you're going to put your best players out there. So, you know, if somebody thinks that there's politics involved, that young man's good. He deserves to be there.
Clee Thermos rifles one. Oh, and a heck of a diving catch by Newsom to rob Clee Thermos of a single. Wow.
Newsom is when he came in as a freshman, I had a chance to he actually worked a little bit with the varsity roster some, and I got to watch him go get some baseballs, and I always thought he was going to be a good defender out there, and he just proved it right there.
That's a heck of a play. Brings up Tyler Clee Thermos. 0 for 1, struck out, fouled that ball into the Timberland dugout. Strike one. Well, we have got what we thought we were going to get here, Mitch. Runs as a premium. Swain still looking sharp. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Clee Thermos, 1 out. Bottom of the order here, and after Clee Thermos, Grant Bishop on deck. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Your prediction of being 1 in the 6th inning may come true.
Well, hopefully the other teams get here sooner.
Fouled. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Ramos goes, my bad, dude.
I always find that funny as a former catcher. You know, when you just miss it and you get frustrated as a catcher and you give the old my bad sign. It's like,
that's yeah. It's
I'm like, is it really actually?
No, it's just, that's a tough play, and especially when the ball's going down. Oh, and Clee Thermos gets domed, but it was a breaking pitch. That's the second time he's had that breaking pitch. He's hit somebody with it, not quite getting it there on the inside part of the plate.
There's been some scary moments in baseball the last couple of weeks or days, really. Over the weekend, you had, I think, Sunday Night Baseball with Larissa Reyes colliding, getting knocked out. He had to go to the hospital. And I think somebody hit Rowdy Telez the other day. And I don't know if anybody out there knows how big Rowdy Telez is, but he's like a 260-pound man. And some guy that was like 5'10" and about $190 ran into him. He laid him out.
This is only the 3rd base runner that East has had. 2 hit by pitch and a base on balls. So not having much luck with swings, and that ball is fouled back. Grant Bishop taking a big hack. What I like to see here, though, is, sometimes you get it's Richie Swain, and everybody knows the big fastball, and he's good, whatnot. They haven't hit him, but yet they're not. They're staying. They're getting some good hacks on his fastball too.
I don't think they're afraid.
No,
it just happens to be that Richie's
they're not
pitching
intimidated.
well.
We'll put it that way. It just Richie's he's just better.
He's good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why he's on his way to Mississippi State. That's Starksville, right? Is that correct? No?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Starksville. Because was Ole Miss in Oxford. 0-2. Oh, he gave him that late. So it's 0-2. So is Ole Miss the Oxford of the United States? Get it? That's a terrible joke, but it was funny.
I didn't get it.
Oxford University.
I
in
got
England?
I got
Okay.
I mean, I got that. I thought maybe it was like Oxford Dictionary or something, like words or something. I don't know.
Oh, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You lost me.
That's all right. It wasn't that funny anyway. Just that's why they say I'm low-larious. Instead of hilarious. Get it?
I got it.
Popped up on the infield. Chiodini over. Good job by Swain. I like that. Get to third base. There you go, young man. That's good baseball right there.
Every bag's covered.
So popped out to the third baseman for out number 2. Brings up Copenhaver, the left fielder. Copenhaver tries to bunt for a hit, fouls it straight back.
I could tell you this right now. I would not want to stand in the box and try to bunt against that arm slot. It just ball is going to run in on your hands, and you go to turn the square, and it's like, okay, here it comes, and all of a sudden it's just sinking down on the handle.
Yeah, right in your kitchen,
It
right?
helped deaden the ball a little bit. Probably going to hurt the hands.
Big swing and a miss.
You know, I'm not sure the speed on the guys on the bases that's, for East, but I'm shocked that they're not kind of taking advantage of like more of a walking lead to try to steal off of Swain. He is doing a pretty good job of trying to mix up maybe some looks,
Yeah.
timing of it all.
Misses in for ball 1, 1-2, like right there. And he doesn't look just quick to the plate. He does a little slide step, but it isn't urgent. We'll call it that. Kind of swoops it. Oh, a big knee there. Strike 3. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. 0-0. Level up with Legacy Performance Academy. When it comes to development, Legacy Sports and Fitness is all about training the whole athlete, on the field and off. Improve mobility, boost flexibility, prevent injuries, train explosive strength and functional movements, grow as an individual. Because we know a better athlete today becomes a greater player tomorrow. All right, folks, we're back here with our last player spotlight, and it is the young man that is patrolling left field for this Timberland squad and leading them. I believe he's leading. Yeah, pretty much with the at-bats. He's at 54 plate appearances. Colin Porter is hitting .395 on the season, .519 on base percentage, and a .628 slugging. 4 doubles, 3 triples. He's only got 4 RBIs, but he's at the top of the order for a reason. He's got 18 runs scored. That's pretty good run production there, Mitch. And he has been pretty much the catalyst for this team. They've got, looks like 4 or 5 guys 300 or better, and he is at the top of that, setting the table and getting it done for him.
Yeah, and you look at his production inside of league play, and he's hitting 583.
There you go.
Going into this game.
That is popped off the fist. Bingham underneath it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
I think that's a frustrating at bat for Timberland coaches. You can see Coach Trimble down there kind of just walking around a little, maybe a little frustrated there because, you had a long inning last time for Hollingsworth, and you go out swing at first pitch. That's almost letting him off the hook here because you can get him out of the game just a little bit sooner.
Right.
And, get into their bullpen depth so that you can get these studs back up late in the game, to give Timberland that chance to win.
Give him a little better at bat because you got your 2 big guys right behind you.
I'll just go back to it, Brian. I'll take that swing. Like he tried to hit it a mile, whatever. That's what I want to see early.
Yeah.
In trying to do damage and not just trying to put the bat on the ball. We don't have to do that yet, and it's how can you be late? If you're late, that means you're indecisive, on kind of what your approach is.
Back up the middle, off the end of the bat, and a 1-out single for Chiodini.
I would challenge anybody to go out there, and I have an extra copy if you need to read it, and it's the 1986 Ted Williams, The Science of Hitting. And, he talks about being a guess hitter.
Yeah.
When you guess, the thing was what made him a great hitter overall is he guessed right 40% of the time. And he didn't miss. That's the thing is if he's going to sit fastball and he got it, he wasn't going to miss it.
No.
And I think these young kids, tend to think about different variables. They're thinking about, is he going to throw me a curveball here? Is he going to throw me a fastball? Like, no, stick to one pitch and don't miss.
This is a big spot right here. Ramos up, strike on the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike to Ramos. This is the guy that can beat you right here with 1 swing, and put you up 2-0.
Well, here's what I would like his thought process going into this. Look at the second baseman,
right?
Almost playing up the middle, just little punch and Judy
and
over
here. And look at the gap in right field. Absolutely.
And they're throwing you away. You might as well take advantage of it.
Just sit on it and drive it. Oh, he comes back inside, and he gets the strike call.
That's my favorite one, Brian. He's standing on top of the plate, and when you throw it on the black there, and it's a pitch, that's a pitcher's pitch. Like,
yes.
Hands
yes,
down,
it
that's
is.
an excellent pitch by the pitcher. But he is on the white of that.
Oh, yeah. His toes are.
Yeah. And so that pitch is in if you're where you're standing.
That is a big strikeout for Hollingsworth. And Ramos is down 2 outs now. Chiodini at first. Jamison Schrum at the plate. I think we may have this all day long. This is, the pitching matchups today are going to be intense. We're going to see Camden Lohman next time around. I don't know who's throwing for South yet. Who's throwing for South, Warren? Do you remember? That's all right. When you can.
I got a feeling that game might be a little bit different than this one.
Yeah.
South is down.
Oh, safe. Had him on the wrong foot. Not quite there.
After losing the talent that they lost over the last couple of years, when you lose a big arm like Carter Cox, and even the depth that they had, and they're dealing with some injuries internally. So,
oh, that's right. Caden Reidelberger will be pitching for him. That ball is popped up shallow behind third base. Morgan underneath it makes the catch for out number 3. And so there we go. Strand another runner. We're going to the top of the 6th inning with the score 0-0.
At Legacy Performance Academy, we meet athletes where they are in their development. Whether you're just starting out or already on the path to greatness, Legacy Sports and Fitness is the premier program for growth, with a full training field designed to help you sharpen every aspect of your game. Paired with our elite baseball programs, we've got the foundation for your success.
Mitch, tomorrow we'll be back at it. G.A.C. South Classic. Now we're catching the Wednesday, but the 1-2s in the South, I think, are the 2s in the South are still pretty tasty.
I'm just chuckling because people ask me like how good is the GACs, and the GAC South is obviously the king of the division, if you will, or of the three. But the 2s, I mean, if you think about, I'm assuming Eli Skidmore's going today for Howell. That's what they did last week.
Yep.
And then Dylan Curtis is going tomorrow for Howell. That's a guy that's going to Mizzou.
Yeah.
Like you have these Power 5 or Power 4 or whatever they are now.
And not to mention with Howell North, we're going to get Carson Howard.
Yeah.
And so, oh my goodness.
Two upper 80s arms are going to be going against each other.
Zumwalt West and Troy Buchanan at the end. I mean, we're going to see some pretty decent arms. Probably going to see the sophomore. I think he's there too. Max. Oh gosh.
Not Perry. I was thinking Carter Perry, but
well, we'll probably see Carter Perry
Wolf?
for.
We see
No,
Wolf?
not Zumwalt West. Troy Buchanan. Max.
Sorry.
Oh gosh. I just forgot his name. That's horrible.
Well,
I know.
By the time I get to it, I won't have it, but
That's all right. We're going to get into this here. We're at the top. Travis Hill leading off for East. And he bunts it, and it's going to be down. Oh, got to spin. Oh, Chiodini picks it up.
what a play.
And that is a heck of a play. I thought he should have let it go foul. And Coach Hill was like, oh, my goodness.
Every piece of that. I mean, you can even look at Richie. Like Richie looked over and was like, let it go foul. And then when he picked it up, he jumped up and down like, don't make that play. And he ended up just beating him by half a step. That's all you need.
Don't matter how close it is as long as he's out, right?
As long as you beat him.
Jackson Bingham swings at the first pitch. Ogby makes the catch. That's 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th against Swain. That's not something you really want.
Are you playing if you're Howley or if you're East, are you playing with house money there? With going up with the top part of your lineup going up there and, attacking right away? That may be the only pitch you get in this at bat that may be your fastball or whatever your approach was going into this game. So, maybe it's not so bad.
Yeah,
but your number 3 hitter has to now take a pitch.
Yeah.
So I don't like the slider there in that situation. I'd like to see him throw a fastball right down the middle of the plate like that. Because you hate going through that innings with 3 pitches, 3 outs, right? So you're telling your 3 hitter it's a no-brainer. But this is where the game gets fun. You ambush them. You go up and ambush a pitch. That's why he flipped that slider. I love this game, the cat and mouse stuff.
Fastball's down, but fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Topping. Pandolfo on deck. They still got some bats behind here.
Ooh.
Oh, and there is the 3rd time we have seen him not be able to execute that pitch and hit a batter.
Yeah, it's arm side too. And it's been the slider that he's missing. He's just really trying to rip that thing across the zone, get it to kind of sweep more. And it just spun out of his hand. That happens.
East has had 4 base runners, 3 hit by pitch, 1 base on ball. I mean, if we didn't have that, it'd be a perfect game.
Cement mixer.
Big swing and a miss for Pandolfo.
That's the one he wanted a pitch ago.
Right?
But hats off to him for coming right back. I mean, he did that in his other hit by pitches. He come right back and executed.
1 ball, 1 strike. He hasn't been deep in counts too much either, Mitch.
Efficient.
Yes, agreed. Throw over, easily back in is Topping. That's just, hey, I know you're there. Don't go nowhere.
Good spit.
2 balls and a strike.
Brian, what is your favorite Easter candy?
I don't have one.
Favorite candy?
Tootsie Roll. 3-1.
That fits your personality.
And you know it is because I just popped that dude right off.
1, 2, 3.
That's a Tootsie Pop.
3.
So, see, the only problem with that is you have to eat that candied nastiness off of it to get to the good stuff in the middle. So we got another base on balls, and we got first and second with 2 outs. So the hit by pitch has caused a little distraction here. We have number 7 running. That is Chase Cook running for Pandolfo. And you got a dangerous hitter here in Kevin Morgan. He's hitting .288. He's got some pop in his bat. He's got 5 doubles, 16 RBIs. You don't want to make a mistake to him.
No, and he's hitting good in conference play too. So, I mean, his numbers are well here. Obviously, that's a testament to the top guys on his roster, but
takes a fastball up. Kevin Morgan's just a sophomore, so we're going to see him for a few years to come.
yeah, and it's going to be one of those things. I know that Richie's a senior here, but how can he control his emotions after the hit by pitch and the walk?
And that is ball 2. This is the steal, right? This is where you got to have it.
Yeah, the catcher went out. Ramos had gone out there to talk to him to kind of settle him down, but you'd like to see him take his deep breaths, get back into his routine, and just execute. You could see that the pace has changed a little bit.
Yep.
Right? He doesn't have that same pace. It's the here we go again mentality that he has to fix. There it is.
That's a good pitch. Got himself back over the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Morgan, did you see more? He was taking that all the way.
Yeah, I don't like that. To be honest with you, I don't like it. But that's the hitter side of me. Especially, I think, if he's just going to throw that up there for a get me over strike, because you don't want to go 3-0, so you know whatever pitch is coming is going to be barrel opportunities, and
here
can't
comes that
pass up
slider,
barrels.
2-2. It's way outside.
Oh, what a
no!
pick. What a pick!
Topping did not get a good read, and Ramos picked that up and just threw a seed. Topping cut down. You can see Coach Hill. He is. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Score 0-0.
At Legacy Performance Academy, we meet athletes where they are in their development. Whether you're just starting out or already on the path to greatness, Legacy Sports and Fitness is the premier program for growth, with a full training field designed to help you sharpen every aspect of your game. Paired with our elite baseball programs, we've got the foundation for your success.
All right, folks, we're back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Mitch has said this is where the game's going to get won. But before we do that, I want to talk to you a little bit about baseball talk tomorrow. Tune in. We'll have Mr. Kevin Mulder on the show talking baseball. Right? Isn't that what we do with baseball talk? We talk baseball?
I wear hockey jerseys. to anything we do sometimes. So
He hasn't got over that yet, folks. Hadn't got over it yet. Tune in tomorrow after baseball, though, or before baseball, or whenever you're watching. Check out Youth Baseball Midwest Baseball Talk. Tomorrow we will have Kevin Mulder on. And then on Thursday, our new one, Baseball Talk with Diego Solares, talking everything Illinois baseball. It's a lot of fun. We're working over into that side of it. Folks, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, support the channel. We appreciate that. Hit the dinger. It's baseball time. Here is Hollingsworth out for the bottom of the 6th inning, facing Jackson Weiss, the DH today. He's been on base one time with a single, was stranded at second base. Takes ball one. And that's that big chopper. Second baseman up with it. Nice play by Jackson Bingham on the run. Good throw for out number 1. Brings up Brady Schuler. This is a tall drink of water kid right here. One hop. Travis Hill up with it. Throws. Out number 2. That's 3 pitches and 2 outs. Economics, baby.
I'm not exactly sure what the thought process is, but I turned my mic off and not on. I had it on and then turned it off. Maybe they could hear me because it's through the other microphones. But again, getting late in the ball games and just letting pitchers off the hook, man. It's like, take a pitch. So what if it's a strike? Learn to hit with strikes.
Because you've had Hollingsworth in trouble in a couple of those innings. Make him work a little harder here. You want to get him out of the ball game.
Yeah, because that 4th inning, he had long inning, and then you go out and you get him off the hook in the 5th, and then you look at his pace right now. He's back to that pace that you saw the other day at Washington, and he now he's feeling it.
Misses low.
This is the wrong guy I want feeling it. You know what I mean? For that staff.
Exactly. Yeah, here's the pace. Oh,
look at that.
Tough play right off Bingham. That sounded like his knee.
Oh, I like this.
Post.
That's all right.
Hustling. Oh, and he
dropped
can't
the
hang
ball.
on to the baseball. Hill showing the frustration. That was a heck of a throw by Topping, but Hill couldn't hang on to it because Post would have been out.
I am not opposed. I like that.
That's aggressive baseball, baby.
Where are you at? You got your 9-hitter up. Maybe you don't want to, have him lead off if you do get thrown out there, but give yourself a chance.
So a single turns into, well, should we give him a double? I'm not
Should
the
you give
official
him
scorer.
a single?
And he takes the base on the throw. That's strike 1 to Ogby. I wonder what
look
did
at
that
Coach.
hit off of with Bingham? You heard
His
that.
foot.
It was. It had to be his shoe. Hope he's okay. He ain't limping.
No, to me, that's an error. I think that's an error all
Oh,
day.
no. That ball was hit hard. You think
That
that's an error?
doesn't matter. This is high school baseball.
Come on, baby. That was a tough play.
You did not put a hit in the books.
I did. And that is skied into left center. Clee Thermos on. A little scream there from Clee Thermos, and we're going to the top of the 7th inning, score 0-0.
I'm here with Coach Burley today at the G.A.C. North Classic here at CarSheild. First off, Coach, thanks for getting me out of class today on this beautiful day. I'm watching baseball, Sometimes you just got to go back to the basics with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
All right, we're back. Players of the game. You know, if this stays this way, our POGs are going to be pitchers. You know that.
Well, they're going to play until the game's over, right?
That's usually what happens.
So
Mitch.
I think we have to wait before we start giving that away.
Well, we always have to start talking about it in the seventh inning because we can't just wait till
That's fine.
boom.
I'm giving it to Coach Dare and Coach Hill for starting these two people, two pitchers. That's who's getting my POGs right now.
I love it.
I'm not ready to designate a player. Obviously, I think
Well,
we're all watching.
the front runners are the pitchers, right?
of course, because they're the ones.
Somebody jack one out of here.
Well, it's the seventh, so you could look at some of just a few of the defensive plays that were made that is allowed to keep those runners there, or little situations like that. So that's a game changer.
Absolutely. Kevin Morgan comes back to the plate as he was in the middle of his at-bat when Topping was cut down going to third. So we'll have Kevin Morgan, Ryan Clethermos, and Tyler Clethermos coming up in this top of the seventh inning to face Richie Swain, who's back out. See if he can finish this one out, and that is ball one upstairs.
That's a good take.
And he held up 2-0. Last Wednesday, man, we saw that pitching duel, Brody Anderson and
Max Kelch.
Max Kelch, and it was Gehring that drove one out for the only run of the game. Are we going to see something like that again today, folks? That is strike on the inside corner. He got that one.
Well, I think he had
There's
the take.
the pitch.
Yeah, I think he had the take sign on that.
There it is again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This is why I'm always telling you, if you get a 2-0 slider, you hit it as far as you can. Where is it going? It's always thighs. It's knees. It's never down. It's never dirty.
And a ground ball to the second baseman, Schuler, for out number 1.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not throwing a 2-0, on the bottom half of the strike zone so it dips away from the barrel. You're throwing it thighs and it ends at the knees or something, and that's the one that you have to execute on.
Right.
I'm excited though to watch this young man, Kevin Morgan. He's a big kid as a sophomore.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like in 2 years when he's in that weight room for the next 2?
It could be pretty tough for
Pitchers.
G.A.C. pitchers. Ball 1 to Clethermos.
I got to send the boys packing. Everybody wants to come in and say hi to me.
Oh, no, they can come in and say hi.
I don't want to say hi to them.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding.
All right. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
I shoot them.
This is some South guys, right?
I
coming
shoot
in.
them. I actually went to school.
They just want to get in here and be famous.
Well, then they can be a player of the game.
Oh, there you go. Grounded sharply to post. Up with it. Out number 2.
I'm here to do business, sir.
Hey, baby, I'm with you.
Unless I see the adults that are their parents, because I did go to school with the young man's mom out there. So, who was a heck of a softball player who played college softball herself. So, yes, there's a lot of people at the park today.
That's why we got
that I
Mitch
know.
hanging around. He knows everybody.
No, just the 40-somethings.
Just the 40-somethings. Grounded off the plate, Chiodini. Oh, with the bare hand.
Again.
What a play by Ethan Chiodini. That ball skipped, grabbed it with his bare hand, and threw him out. That takes us to the bottom of the seventh inning. No score.
I'm here with Coach Burley today at the G.A.C. North Classic here at CarSheild. First off, Coach, thanks for getting me out of class today on this beautiful day. I'm gonna watch some baseball, you know. Sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
I got it. That was a heck of a play by Ethan Chiodini to end that inning at the top of the seventh for Timberland. Here they go in the bottom of the seventh. Hollingsworth is back out there. Tight ball game, Brian.
Are you surprised about that?
No, I did think that there was going to be a few mistakes that would have led to maybe a run or two. We have not seen that today as of yet. And hopefully I did not do the announcer's jinx because there's a lot of good baseball being played right now.
There really is. And that was a fantastic play by Chiodini. That young man, I know he hasn't had what he at the plate, but he is playing great defense.
Well, we're going to find out. What do you usually do, right? After you make a good play.
And here we are. It's Colin Porter. It's Cam Newsom. It's Ethan Chiodini. It's their best shot here, I think, to get at Hollingsworth here. So we're going to find out if they can take care of business here in the bottom of the seventh. And that is ball one to the leadoff Porter, who this young man is hitting the cover off the ball at 395.
That's the thing. It's 395 overall on the year, but he came into this game, I think, hitting like 600 or something
for league
play. And I know that there's less at bats here, but he's hitting 583. Wow. Seven. He's got a double and a single. Again, he's leading the team with the runs scored with 6.
Popped it back foul, back out of play. 2-2 as we hear it hit the concrete.
That one's not coming back.
Skied into left field. Copenhaver under it. Out number 1. It was funny when we were at Blue Springs. We're right next to the parking lot. So every fly ball or every foul ball, everybody's just sitting waiting. And you hear pavement and everybody goes, oh.
I think it's absolutely amazing on how many baseballs do not hit vehicles at certain parts.
Right. Good curveball. Kind of just froze Newsom. Strike 1. Does it again for strike number 2. That's the pace right here for Hollingsworth. Oh, that's bad. Come on, guys. You don't want you break your pitcher's stuff there. You can't let a ball get loose from the bullpen.
That is one thing that does drive me bonkers. Are the bullpens
That's a foul ball. Woo!
When they're in play?
Yeah. Boy, he just couldn't keep that fair.
I shouldn't say in play because they're obviously not in play, but they
right, I get
on the field.
They're on the field rolling around. Fouled off the glove.
I like that sequence.
Battling here. Newsom trying to stay in this at bat. It's 0-2. Chiodini on deck. Grounded foul again. Coach Zare over with the bare hand.
See him looking in?
Comes up and fires it. Look at that. Coach Zare still got it.
He's going to ice his arm after that one. I can promise you that. We talk often, so I know he's icing his arm. He's got his legs.
Oh.
Just a bit outside.
Wow. That got away from him. He said, you keep that baseball. I want another one.
That's the one that probably hit the patch out there. That's the one I want to keep in the game. You got a guy that likes to flip up sliders or sweepers up here. Give me that ball. It's a little scuffed up.
With a little cut in it?
I'll make this thing dance.
Out number 2 on the strikeout. Good slider by Hollingsworth.
I love this. For anybody watching that what just happened, the on deck or the in the hole hitter for Timberland always gets the foul balls. Never throw the ball back to the umpire. You always hand it back to the umpire. I know that you umpires think you can catch. It's okay. I think it's out of respect.
Foul back out of
Give
play.
the umpire the baseball. Coach Zare just ran that baseball all the way back down there. I love that piece.
You can toss it to me.
Nope.
It's okay.
Watch what happens if one of my kids toss you the ball, even if you ask for it. Not happening.
You can't yell at him if the umpire asks you to, dude. No,
What's-
you can't.
You don't matter.
Oh, that's not right. Can't do that.
Can you
Why would you
actually-
yell at the kid, hey, no, just go ahead and toss it, bro?
Because we don't do that.
Why? If the umpire can't see it to catch it, then he shouldn't be back there behind the plate, bro.
Well, what do you think I'm saying if he drops it?
Oh, a little flare topping under it. Man, we have ourselves a duel. Will we see Swain out for the top of the 8th inning? We'll be right back.
Runner down, and a ground ball is going to get through the hole. There you go.
That is baseball, ain't it?
There it is.
And that is shot into the gap
That's it, score 2.
for that is going to be a double, and that's going to score 2. Hammered to center field, and that's deep, and that beats him, and that is a ground rule double for Connor, and that stolen base.
That was big.
And that ball is lined into the gap and is going to get down and past the outfielders, and that looks like it's going to score 1 run and a triple here for Lucas Roncaville.
Well, their pants are.
That ball is lined off the fist. Oh, heck of an effort by the second baseman. Ground ball back up the middle. Past the diving Grant Bishop. And another run scores. And Washington has plated 2 here in the bottom of the 6th, refusing to give up.
New pitcher for Timberland will be number 9, Cannon Manor. This is his 5th appearance. 2 starts, 1-1. He's got a 2.80 ERA. Mitch, big spot here. You've just come into this game. You got a 1.4 whip and a 2.11 opponent's batting average against. There's a lot of pressure on this kid not to give it up.
Yeah, the one thing that you have here is a lefty coming at, different arm slots. You got all these different variables now in the game, so it may take a moment to adjust, but you are facing towards the bottom half of the lineup for East, so throw strikes.
Exactly. Bishop gives a half swing, 1 ball, 1 strike. That was a good curveball. Had him way out front. That's a good fastball. Had a little tail on it. Away from the righty. Strike 2. Misses in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I always think that's a tough thing. You've just watched these 2 pitchers, duking it out, and you're coming in. I got to have that same little nice job not to get rushed. Good job.
Yeah, you like that, and you could see that this is. I'm going to go on a limb and say that this young man probably follows Richie probably almost every game that he throws, just because of the dynamics of the two. You got a Richie that throws a 2-seamer that runs in on righties. You got the lefty that runs away from righties. So you could see that being a good mix because Cannon has a 4 innings pitch for league play. He hasn't given up a run yet.
Ball 1.
He hasn't given up a hit yet for
Conference
play.
Looks like we have a pinch hitter, number 11 for Zumwalt East, and that is Zach Griegel, hitting .313 on the season in 23 plate appearances.
This is a big pitch right here for this young man, both pitcher and hitter, because you don't want to get a chance to get to the leadoff spot with runner on and 1 out.
Right. And the walk.
You're going to re-enter, Brian.
Oh, I'm sure.
A little different wheels.
Yep. Did his job. Got the walk with 1 out, and Copenhaver's back in. Nope, that's number. Yep, Copenhaver's back in. But that gave Coach the at-bat he wanted.
Well, here comes options. What's the one thing that we know about East? They will bunt. They're
Yep.
going to bunt, run. They're going to do all kinds of different things here to probably try to.
Didn't show him squaring. Hill holding his water there, man. Big spot. High leverage pitches. Strike 1. Didn't show the bunt, Mitch. Sign called out. I shouldn't say a sign. It's just a call.
It's just a number.
Yep, just the numbers. No more signs. Just calls. Foul back out of play. Quickly 0-2 to Travis Hill.
I'll give you this. I'm actually shocked he didn't try to go within the first 2 pitches there with the pitcher and some mechanics and him kind of being offset. It takes a while for him to get that leg going. I think if you got that kind of speed and you kind of take off first movement, right, you might be able to get in there.
He doesn't have a big lead.
I'm sure it's one way.
Oh, that's right off the mask of Ramos. That one, that's tough. Oh, your ears start ringing in that helmet, and it's just kind of like a buzz. It's like, oh.
He looked at the baseball like, yep, that one's not going to cut it. I still have a mask from when I was in high school. I had a foul ball that went. I had the 2-piece mask, and
Yeah.
I had an old Wilson mask, and that ball had hit the face mask and actually got stuck between the 2 bars. That ball is still in there.
Is that right?
Yep. So it's still in there. It hangs on my wall. Needless to say, my dad got me a new mask, so it actually cut my nose. That's how far indented it was.
Nice job by Hill just to spoil that pitch. I don't think he could trying to keep that fair. Still 0-2. Checking the baseball for marks and whatnot. Good job by the catcher. He's like, well, if you want me to throw it back out blue, I can. Couple more baseballs. Tomorrow, these 2 teams will be back at it again at Fort Zumwalt East High School. That's in the seats over towards the north players.
Sun's out, guns out, Brian. Get some sun on those farmer tans.
Yeah, everybody's got the sleeves rolled up. Oh, geez. Hit my mic. Sorry, folks.
I'm not a fan of that one either. If you wear a baseball jersey, you wear it like you're supposed to.
Not the California Penal League.
Yeah, I mean, you could
Strike 3
pitch.
on the outside corner. Hill is down on strikes. 2 outs. Brings up Jackson Bingham. I said that they were talking about that down in the Timberland dugout before the game, and I said that. I said, we're not in the Kid goes, I know that. I know that reference.
He's found his groove on that heater on the outside corner. See if East can take advantage of that and just poke it right there in that 3-4 gap. Schuler moving over there trying to take that away.
Long look, and he misses in. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jackson Bingham. Tough thing is both these pitchers are going to get, well, no decision.
Well, it's a no,
Unless
definitely a no.
Hollingsworth comes back out, but I don't foresee that happening. And Swain is already out, so a no decision for him.
I like the pickoff here attempt because I think this is a good time for East to try to swipe a bag. If he gets thrown out, you get to start over with 2-hitter up.
Yeah.
I'll be quite honest with you. I think it's kind of easy to take off on Manor because when he goes over there, he's slow.
Yeah.
And so you could kind of take advantage of that. First move, just take off.
He's got a big leg kick.
Well, he comes from like an offset position too, so I feel like even when he goes up, it takes him a while to get the ball out to throw to first base.
And to me, though, I think that's a show of respect for Carson Ramos because do you have guys that can get good reads even on a lefty? Because I don't think he's really quick to the plate. So either you don't believe you can get good reads or you just don't want to run on Ramos. Oh, over the glove of Chiodini, and Bingham has a 2-out single that moves Copenhagen into scoring position.
Yeah, that's a good at-bat there, and, maybe that's why you don't steal. It's because if he does get thrown out, that doesn't happen. But when you look at that situation, what do you have to lose? You got a guy with 2 strikes on you. You do get thrown out, so be it. You could start that over with your 2-hitter up. Now you can have your guy, hitting with less runner on with maybe nobody out, topping. Now he's got to come through here.
And this is the guy right here for East that's been the banger. 8 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. He's driven in 23. This is the guy you want at the plate right here in this moment.
That's it. It's who brought the fans to the stands.
Strike down at the knees.
I'm going right center field. That's the direction of this baseball.
That gap has been there the whole game. I mean, you see Newsom shaded to the shortstop side.
Big time. 6 steps.
And that's a big shade here because unless they feel more pull with this pitcher. Shrinking the gap on the left side. And that's the pitch you want to sit on and drive that in that right field gap. So
yeah, he wanted that one back.
So he was evidently not thinking that curveball right there.
Yeah, Topping shook his head like, man, let me have that back.
Please and thank you. There it is. Oh, and he misses it.
That's the thing that I tried not to do as a hitter, and I could tell when I was struggling and when I was locked in. And the one thing I didn't want to do is like look up to the sky and go, I took that pitch, whatever, or shake my head. I don't do that unless I put a swing on. You know what I mean? Like if I put my head down like that, it's like
giving in to the
why
pitcher.
didn't I just swing?
Yeah,
should have swung. Just swing. You know what I mean?
2 balls, 2 strikes to Topping. Big moment here.
And that kind of tells me the moment, tells me where those kids are at, like mentally sometimes, because they're again going indecisive. What are you trying to throw me here? Don't miss zones. You can hunt zones. You can hunt pitches.
Chiodini again as Topping hits that on a line, and the third baseman up with the out. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning, score 0-0.
It's gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stolen base, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness. Well, Mitch, Carson Ramos leading it off. The lefty, and we got the lefty coming in now for East, Aiden Horn. Call to the bullpen. I always like to. I think that's fun to say. You've got Aiden Horn, and he's got 12 for 4 coming in. Aiden Horn this is his 6th appearance. 2 starts. He's 1-2 on the season. 13 and a third innings pitched. A 6.30 ERA. And Horn has 13 walks, 20 Ks. His whip, that at 2.4. So that is 322 opponent batting average. So this is going to be an interesting one.
You have a young man that can hit the house, and it's got some tremendous power. So
You mean that white one way up there?
the
Or
white, the tan, the brown, the you
the
pick.
the big fuzzy trees in the back over there?
Yeah, you pick. And he's got opposite field power too. Depends on it. Well, we saw that against Howell Central.
Yes, we did.
He hit the Oppo Taco to go ahead.
Ball 1 to Ramos. You know, honestly, if I'm in this spot right here as Aiden Horn, I understand you never want to really just walk somebody, but intentionally with the first guy. But I would not throw anything. But he gets away with it. As Topping goes back, makes the catch, and out number 1.
You know, I think when you go into a different situation, let's say that these two were matching up in district play or something like that, that probably doesn't happen in that situation. I'll be honest with you. You don't let that guy beat you.
Yeah.
You make these next 2 hitters beat you, and so you try to let him get himself out. But the unintentional, intentional walk kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in this situation, let your guy compete.
Yep.
So because it could come down the road where he has to come in a bases loaded situation.
That's a nice curveball. No balls, 2 strikes to number 20, Jamison Schrum.
I'm a firm believer if the curveball is up, you swing at it. Firm believer.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, that one definitely was not up.
That one was not. The one before that, I'd like to see a barrel on that baseball.
Fastball misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This is where I love what we see about technology nowadays, the overlays.
Yeah.
If you throw a pitch right there and you throw a curveball off the same thing, he'll take that pitch because he'll give up on it.
Nice job. Pandolfo up with it for out number 2. Good strikeout right there. That's a good pitch on the inside. Two, 3 on the putout after the strikeout. I always wondered why that rule came into effect, you know?
Drop third strike.
Yeah. Jackson Weiss at the plate takes strike 1.
there's an Adam Sandler skit. I'm not sure who the other characters are, and it's got Rob Schneider in it. And they talk about how baseball was created or whatever it is. And I forget the one guy, the main character's thing, but what's his face is the Sandler is the pitcher.
Oh, yeah.
He blows the ball by him. He's like, that's strike one.
Curveball right back to Horn. Little low throw, but in time. So 1, 2, 3 for Aiden Horn in the bottom of the 8th. We're going. This is like a real baseball game. Top of the 9th inning, score 0-0.
Well, it's going to take 27 outs at minimum for this one. So if you like college baseball, your Friday nights, Saturday nights, not your doubleheader days, because in doubleheader days you play 2 7s, but we're going to play 9 here at minimum. I do not know the rules after so many innings for this event, so maybe we should figure that out, but we have got a duel on the mound for the 4 pitchers that have towed the rubber today for Timberland and Fort Zumwalt East. Nobody today has made some mistakes, so you talk about free bases, and so that hasn't come to fruition today. You know, maybe you have had a walk or a hit by a pitch. It hasn't hurt nobody because you haven't had multiple ones. So hats off to both defenses.
Richie Swain went 7 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 1 base on balls. He hit 3 batters and struck out 3. His relief is Cannon Manor, and he's strike 1 to Dominic Pandolfo here in the top of the 9th inning. Pandolfo fists it foul into the fence for strike 2. On deck is Kevin Morgan. You see these guys on that curveball, Mitch, kind of reaching down, and that's why you get it. It's pop foul back in the stands, but they seem to be just kind of reaching for it and getting under that curveball.
They're not. To me, that's not a. I don't think they're A swings, right? They're just trying to be defensive, and I'll never understand why, like on a 1-1 count, that you'll see those things. You know, why are you just trying to catch a barrel and stick it out? You know, your butt goes out, and it's. I'm not a big fan of that. I understand when you're struggling, some of that stuff kind of happens,
Yep.
and you're trying to figure it out and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like if you're locked in, which these guys have been, you know, hitting pretty well, there's not a reason to stick your butt out and try to just do a 1-1 swing to put a ball in play.
I really liked that last sequence. Curveball, got the strikes, and then fastball out of the same place as you were talking about. Swing and miss, strikeout, and then strike 1 to Morgan, and now ball 1. That's that sequencing out of that same tunnel.
That's it. And that's why you get away with certain pitches. You know, back when we played, there wasn't a lot of data like that. But you know, you saw it. The one thing that we never did growing up was you never threw the baseball up in the zone. You always kept it down. You got your ground balls. You know, get your outs. If you threw it up, it was to strike people out. So the big thing was even the curveball up.
Oh, He makes the catch. Nice job by the first baseman over there, Schrum, making the catch.
I heard it. Ramos over there telling me he got room. I was like, he's running out of room real fast.
Hey, he made the catch, baby. I like it.
That's what matters.
So 2 outs quickly here, and Ryan Cletherm at the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Takes ball 1.
But I would like to see hitters with their intent to swing is try to do more damage than just putting a barrel on a ball. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if that's just the change of hitting philosophies on teams, but I don't want to see a kid take a 1-0 swing and be defensive because it's out on the outside corner and it's just a strike. Why don't you just let the strike go? Don't give away your hand. Don't get frustrated. Stick to a routine. So if you know your pitcher's throwing you away, well, don't swing at the inside fastball. Just
Check
let it be
swing.
a strike.
Check swing goes 0-2 or 1-2. That's 2-2 now.
I just don't think we do enough of that in our training, preparing these kids for the next levels.
Got in on his hands, and he hits it foul into the grassy knoll.
That bounced off the railing where those tents are, hit the top of the fence, then bounced back in play.
Well, into the grassy knoll.
That's the second time I've said that. That was set up by that curveball.
Yep. For strike number 3, and we're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. No score.
I'm here with Coach Burley today at the G.A.C. North Classic here at CarSheild. First off, Coach, thanks for getting me out of class today on this beautiful day. I'm gonna watch some baseball, Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
Aiden Horn back out for his second inning of work. Oh, shoot. I forgot to get you the totals. My bad, folks, for Mr. Hollingsworth. We're going to do that right now as we speak. Mitch, I'll be right back.
So you leaving it up to me again? Coming back
He's
out.
Like, dang it.
Yeah. I don't do a good job at this, but I can talk sports, and you just go back to just thinking about your approach to hitting it. So if you can take anything away from this, tell your young players that if you're going to go up there and hit, you don't have to just hit any strike. Hit your strike. We have hot and cold zones for a reason. Understand them because it starts building plate discipline long term. So, if I have a pitch that I can't hit, which is typically up in the zone, I don't do well for that. I don't swing at that until I have 2 strikes, and at least on the heater. And so if I get a curveball up in the zone, it might be a little bit different. But I like to try to make sure that a swing that I put on it is one that I can handle and hit as hard as I can every rep. That's what I would like to see our young guys do. One, so it can, translate to these games, because somebody's going to have to adjust here and have a big AB to win this ball game.
All right, so here's Aiden Horn to Schuler. It's a ball outside. The line for Mr. Hollingsworth, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 0 runs, 2 base on balls and 2 Ks, and the bunt's down. Morgan up with it, fires over, and in time. Nice play by the sophomore third baseman. We've seen some defense today, Mitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one was called or not, but you can see both coaches kind of just bummer.
Is that what that look was?
Well, you don't know if that's called or not, but you have a guy here that's got some wheels, and try to fight your way on the bags here, and then let Posty bunch you over.
Hayden Post at the plate. Curveball. Post has singled and reached on an error. The much controversial error. And Thermos, unassisted, out number 2. Man, who's going to break through here, Mitch? This is like the one, I mean, we could be here a while. East had a 16-inning marathon the other day with Warrenton.
I'm not prepared for that. I don't have enough munchies, buddy. In between innings, I'm going to the gas station.
0-1 to Ogby, and that's inside. Ball 1.
It's either that or I'm going to J.J. Twiggs.
Oh, J.J. Twiggs is nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Just in case they wanted to sponsor us.
And that is fouled to the dugout. One ball, 2 strikes to Ogby. He's 0 for 3 today.
Is it Ogby or Ogby?
You might be right, Ogby. Ogby.
Well, I've been calling him Ogby for 4 years.
Well, then you're probably right. Curveball. Coach Zaire on it. Didn't throw it this time.
Did you see him look it in, though?
Yeah, I saw him looking in.
He stares right at that baseball, goes right in his hand.
Better part of valor there. I'll give it to the young man, let him throw back in, right?
Oh, yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Another ball foul. Oh, look at that, Coach. There you go. Better part of valor. Let the young guy throw back in, Coach.
He wants to.
I know he does. You can see it.
Yeah. That thing's hanging. If he'll throw BP till he...
Oh, no, I'm not going to throw it. That's going to hurt tomorrow. I don't have enough ibuprofen. So, Ogby, did he say that hit him? Or was that ball 4? Did I miss one? Okay. That's what we're going to say. Anywho, he's on base. Colin Porter at the plate.
Well, that was a professional at bat right there.
Yes, it was. Big swing and a miss by Porter. I think that was a little anxious swing.
Well,
wanting to make something happen.
Yeah, you could tell by his swing. All he wants to do is pull the baseball.
Oh, it hit him? That's what I thought. It's outside. Okay.
They're going to stay out there on Porter, too, because he hasn't shown the ability to get to that outside fastball, and that's what I would do if I was East. But that at-bat by Ogby there, that could be one of those at-bats that change your season.
Right.
You know, he's been struggling this year. Last year he had a nice junior year. And then this year he's been struggling, and that could have been an at-bat that just changes his whole season. I said that twice, by the way.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
That's how you know I like to talk.
Colin Porter.
I
Got
think
the hats out there. You got the rally hats going in East. Aiden Horn, 2-2. No big lead there. And that is strike 3 on the fastball. We're going to the top of the 10th inning. Score 0-0.
Runner down, and a ground ball is going to get through the hole. There you go.
that is baseball, ain't it?
There it is.
And that is shot into the gap
That's it, score 2.
for I don't know, it's going to be a double, and that's going to score 2. hammered to center field, and that's deep, and that beats him, and that is a ground rule double for Connor, and that stolen base.
That was big.
And that ball is lined into the gap and is going to get down and past the outfielders, and that looks like it's going to score 1 run and a triple here for Lucas Roncaville.
Well, their pants are.
That ball is lined off the fist. Oh, heck of an effort by the second baseman. Ground ball back up the middle. Past the diving Grant Bishop. And another run scores. And Washington has plated 2 here in the bottom of the 6th, refusing to give up.
Well, everybody, you know the score of this game. We got zeros almost across the board. Been pretty clean game, but give you some updates around the league. St. Pius X is up 1-0 on Northland early in that game. You got Oak Park up 2-0 on Fort Osage. I didn't catch that one. That was a foul ball there. First pitch by Manor. And a big game, Warrenton versus Winfield. Warrenton's up 1-0. St. Charles West up 1-0 on Holt early. Little C&I single for Fort Zumwalt East. I struggle with words sometimes. FCE. Fz. Is that how you say that? Fz. Fz. The Claw. Minions. Fza. Fza. This is what the show has come to in the 10th inning. There's a lot of moving parts here. We'll see what East decides to do if they try to do a little bunt and run action here. Seeing kind of how Timberland is playing that defense. Get that man in scoring position. Up.
Did we just see that?
Well, you got lucky. You got back in time, buddy.
Oh, my gosh, Carson Ramos. He, I think, almost did a backflip.
Front.
Same thing. It's a flip.
One's back, one's front.
Wow.
That was a nice little play there. Yeah. And there's your reason why he's going to Northern Illinois. One of them, I guess.
Wow.
Put that on the highlight reel.
Oh, it's definitely there. So we had the leadoff single. And Coach is still trying to bunt him over.
Well, why not? You got the top of your lineup. You're going to flip it over to Hill.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Man, but that's so tough right after that, man. Wow.
Well, play your percentages maybe, right? Can they do that again?
Big swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 to Copenhagen. Runner first, 1 out. Ball 1. Yeah, Ramos, I mean, as big as he is, too, I mean, he is just athletic.
He's done a good job of keeping baseballs in front of him, too. You know, not only does he make that nice play there, but he's done a really good job with runners on, keeping baseballs on the plate, you know, instead of getting to left and right, letting those guys advance from first or, you know, the few runners that have been on second base today for East.
Big spot here. Hopefully I'm not going to get – ooh. I keep getting buzzed by the big wasp. Comes flying around and is like, sorry, dude.
What did you just say?
Wasp.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is it a waspices?
No, I heard something different.
That is a big strikeout for Manor for out number 2.
I'm not sure if you'd have asked these two coaches before the game if this is what we would be doing. I know that they probably would talk about a pitcher's duel happening, but this is really good baseball by two quality baseball teams.
Travis Hill pokes it down, and it's going to get down and foul out of play.
That's what it's going to take, Brian. I think it's going to take a little, duck fart, a little CNI singles, a 7-hopper that somehow makes it through the infield, and every barrel keeps getting caught, and so again, it's not about mistakes today.
No. See, and that's the tough thing. Like I said, right there, Ramos, he wants that. It's outside. And that's why on some of those things earlier, I'd said, it's.
He's running. Nope.
That would not have been the pitch to run on either.
No, that would have been the easy one. I was trying to watch his feet over there, and he's starting to get a little happy feet.
2 balls and a strike to Hill with Bingham on deck. Three and 1.
Big pitch here.
Hill's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He's reached once on a hit by pitch.
I still don't think you have to give in necessarily, but you don't want to throw a cookie.
Oh.
I think that's it. Listen, at the end of the day, too, like whatever you think about that, I think that's a really good take by Hill.
Yeah, it's a great take by Hill.
It allows your runner to take off from first base, so a ball in the gap might allow him to score.
But that's not a competitive pitch, and I think that's where some of those things that's been in this ball game. It's a great ball game. I think the Blue has been pretty good overall. Don't get me wrong, but that was not a competitive pitch, and and that's where we in a high school game you got to be better that way. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, competitive, from what I learned, is a miss by 9 inches. Anything outside 9 inches is non-competitive.
We're going to the bottom of the 10th inning, score 0-0. Level up with Legacy Performance Academy. When it comes to development, Legacy Sports and Fitness is all about training the whole athlete, on the field and off. Improve mobility, boost flexibility, prevent injuries, train explosive strength and functional movements, grow as an individual. Because we know a better athlete today becomes a greater player tomorrow. All right, folks, bottom of the 10th inning. Mercy sakes and sakes of mercy. We got both teams ready for game 2. We're going to probably make a pretty quick transition here, I'd imagine. We're going to get some players of the game. I think the player of the game is for the winning team is going to be whoever knocks in the scoring run. That's my opinion. At this point, right?
I mean, ideally that's who that I think that's the typical normal routine, I guess, if you will, but it's like the first star in a hockey game.
A purple star?
I did a first star.
Oh.
I only did that on purpose to be a clown.
Cam Newson leading off. I knew that. Chiodini on deck followed by Mr. Ramos. So we got the gauntlet again, Mitch.
Welcome to the game. You know, why he's obviously been in here again, but both lefties coming in here and doing it in relief. But it's the importance of being able to throw strikes. Both teams have been able to do that, and, you know, till I'm blue in the face, don't get the 2 strikes, folks.
1 ball, 1 strike to Newsom, the center fielder, hitting .303 on the season. 10 runs scored, 7 ribbies. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Horns come in matched manner. Both lefties caught a piece of it.
I mean, to this point, Horns come in and been a little bit better. That last inning, they almost got away from Manor, but obviously the big pitch is there to get out of that inning.
That's going to get foul. You could see that. He couldn't.
We'll see a curveball down here. That's the obvious one, right?
I
Pitch
think
selection?
so. You definitely don't want to give him that swing again, Mitch.
Well, don't get beat on a fastball. So I'm not saying go up there and look at it, an off speed right here. You can just adjust. I like the approach of sitting fastball and foul off curveball.
And there it is. Pandolfo up with it. Out number 1, excuse me, on the K. 2-3 if you're scoring at home. Ethan Chiodini, now we're in that place where one swing walks it off, but that's crushed in the gap. Clethermus, nice job. Oh, and he dropped it. He got there, cut it off, and went to go throw, and you could see the frustration there. Gave the extra base. And a 1-out double for Chiodini.
Got a courtesy runner coming in. Owen Dieterker is going to come in. Actually, it's not a courtesy here. That's a substitution. 11 is coming in. Owen Dieterker running for Chiodini. That would be a substitution here.
Yes. And here comes Coach Hill. Quick visit to Aiden Horn. I mean,
you know what this conversation's about, right?
Yeah, don't throw it over the middle of the
put them
plate.
on. Just put them on.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't think that's going to happen here, honestly. I don't.
Why?
You think so? You think he's just going to – you got to put him on. I agree.
It depends how you want to play this game. Like, if you want to play this game like we talked about a little bit earlier, like where it's not a crucial situation. You can let your kid challenge him a little bit. Try to pitch around him. You let him get himself out. The intentional walk. But if you're playing this game to win it, I think you have to walk him here because his run doesn't matter. Now you're set up for a double play baseball to get out of the inning. You got guys behind him that they're not hitting as well. So here's where I probably don't even let him make a pitch so that he don't make a mistake. If you're playing this game to win.
Here it is. Yep. Coach Hill just gave him the four fingers.
Yeah, that I think if you're playing the game to win this one, you have to let the guys behind the 3 best hitters for Timberland. You don't let them guys beat you.
So the intentional walk.
I think Runge's coming in to run for Ramos this time.
Number 23. Parker Runge. So you got speed all over. You have Jamison Schrum at the plate. East is looking to turn a double play. He needs that ground ball. Throws him the bender for strike 1.
a good take.
This is really the first trouble Horn's been in that way.
We talked about it before. It's been there, whether we like it or not. It has been in the other batter's box today. You're not going to hit it. You're not going to swing at it. Good spit for Schrum.
Oh, off the glove of Horn, and everybody's going to be safe.
That could have been your double play ball, too, because both those kids got caught in their secondaries.
Oh, Mitch. And Horn, he's thinking about that a little too much maybe here. Oh, wow. Off the glove. Is that an error? I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I'm tough on scoring, buddy.
So we'll call it an E1. Jackson Weiss at the plate takes ball one.
I still think that's the right move for this arm, is to go out there and throw to the strengths of the plate, right? Like, you know, the umpire. This is what, again, drives me bonkers about that. Is why did he even make that pitch competitive out of his arm? Just throw the ball where the umpire wants it. If he wants it 2 feet off the plate, throw 2 feet off the plate.
Popped up.
Oh, he's tagging.
Where's Pandolfo? He can't be. Somebody has got to get over there and help the first baseman. Pandolfo's got to stay there to cover home.
Not necessarily. If you ask me how.
Or the pitcher comes.
Third baseman.
Third baseman.
I want my third baseman in there. I don't want my pitcher getting hurt. But that third baseman's already rushing to that line.
1 ball, 1 strike.
But you got your right fielder to help you, too. So
right.
You don't have to put it on your catcher. He's going away.
There it is. And a game-winning ground ball for Jackson
they
Weiss.
Throw a sub on him. They forget we got a game after this.
Oh, no, that's tough.
It'll melt.
It'll melt. What a ball game. Timberland walks it off in the bottom of the 10th inning with a bases-loaded single and takes Game 1 of today's G.A.C. Classic 1-0 in 10 innings. Our players of the game, we're going to have Richie Swain here along with the game-winning hit, Jackson Weiss, and we're going to have Carter Hollingsworth for the Fort Zumwalt East Lions. Folks, we got Game 2 coming up here shortly. We'll let you know when that's coming back out. Make sure you tune back in. We got the Fort Zumwalt South Bulldogs taking on the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers. And we'll see you for Game 2.